Yeah. So this camera, I'll just tilt it a little bit up, up. Okay. So this is down. I think we are live and direct already. So we share that later. Yes, come in. Jeffel, you. Kí ló wá ṣe wá lift ẹ up? Mo kàn fi lọ sábẹ́. Oh, sorry. Then that's for me, please. Yes, yes. Okay, so okay, Makinde. Okay, Makinde, you're here. How are you? It's good to have you here anyways. Don't worry. Don't worry, you guys can keep yes, okay, no, sorry. I was already live and direct and where's my OBS? Where's my OBS? Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Oyeleye Olawale. I'm popularly known as Chief Rules in the Nigerian chess community. And today we are bringing in live and direct the African Chess Super Zonals. 2025, featuring the top players in this category. I actually thought the tournament was going to start exactly 10 o'clock, but I was so surprised. It got to cut me off guard. I had to go get one or two things, and before I got back here, the tournament already started. But that's not an excuse anyway. I'm so sorry. Apologies. Here, before I call on the wonderful guest that are with me, I will use the opportunity to quickly dash into the sponsors of the tournament and the partners. We have FIDE, as you can see on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. We will also have the ACC itself. Of course, that's the model of African chess in Africa. And we also have the National Sports Commission, who are also partnering and supporting this wonderful laudable tournament. In fact, this is the first of its kind in the whole Africa. And we're having also chess in slums. Thank you very much. I'm Tunde Okoya. And we have City Heights Luxury Hotel. This is the wonderful venue where the players are actually having a battle at the present moment. And also to the Nigerian Chess Federation, the mother of all the Nigerian chess players in this wonderful country. Thank you very much for doing a very fantastic job as well. And a fantastic shout out to Right Foods. Of course, I think I remember buying Gala and stocks. These guys, they are very, very wonderful when it comes to what their products in Nigeria and also in Africa. I believe they are international, not just Nigerian only. Okay, quickly, let us go ahead to our game page. And like we said, like we can all see, the games have already started. And here with me is my wonderful, wonderful friend. You can see him smiling over there. He's also he's a wonderful player. He also competed actually in this tournament zone 4 point. I mean, in the zone 4.2. That had the qualifiers for this event, this Super Zonals. Unfortunately, for one reason or the other, I don't know, something came up. But at the moment, I'm so proud to say he's with us here and he's going to be giving us fantastic insight in all the games played. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Lakwite Uluwadurutimi. Mr. Lakwite, how you doing, sir?
Hello, it's good to join you again once again on the stream, streaming live, talking about the games, explaining to the people our thoughts and what we think about what's happening. Yeah, it's good to join you. Always a
Thank you.
pleasure.
Thank you very much, Lakwite. Master of slow play. We saw what you did in the Blitz of this Zone 4.2 event, but we are going to talk about that later. Let us quickly also use this opportunity to welcome into the house a very, very talented player. Before school took over, you know, completely school took over this young man. I'm going to be bringing his video up right now on the screen. But before then, let us give it up for OK Makinde Toluwanimi. Mr. OK Makinde Toluwanimi, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing very fine. Good.
Yeah, that's actually good to hear. I'm so sorry. Let me just
Yes.
bring up your face to the entire public so that they can see you before we quickly just dashing into the games as the hot, like some people will say, as
Yeah,
the
yeah,
hot
yeah.
come.
Things are already heating up in a lot of the games.
Okay, like you rightly said, things are heating up, and our job is to figure all the heats up. Just give me a second. I need to put okay, marking this video onto the old what to see. That's okay. Picture. Or video, whatever it is, to the screen so that, oh, sorry, apologies, that's the wrong one. Um, I'm so sorry about that. I think even before the tournament is going to end, we'll be able to bring in, we'll also be able to bring in Mr. Prince Adewale Adeyinka, the Vice President of Nigerian Chess Federation, to come and give us one or two things. I mean, to talk about the tournament as a whole. Give me a second. I just want to, right, okay, Makinde here. So just to bring him up so that we can see his video. So it won't be partiality. They won't say, oh, it is a, you know, they won't say it's a strength thing. They will say the stronger players are putting their pictures or videos on the screen while they have to put the, I don't want to say the weaker one, but,
Stronger
Yeah,
ones like
why is Tolu's video or picture on the screen? That's
yeah, but oh, now, yeah,
contradiction.
now you see what I'm saying now. You see, this is what I'm trying to avoid. Now you're even asking, you're even questioning why. That's what I'm saying. In the spirit of fairness, there are weak players are also human beings. Let us
Let us add Tolu's picture to it. All right, that's
let us
fair
answer
enough.
this
That's fair enough.
immediately. Yes, absolutely. That's fair enough. That's fair
I
enough.
really I really appreciate. I really appreciate
There
Yeah,
is.
ladies and gentlemen, that's Tolu on my
There is.
that's Tolu on my far left there, and I believe everybody can see. So let us quickly delve into the games, and the very first one we're going to look at is first, let us even itemize the players. And this is the very first time we are
Yeah,
seeing a situation
it's
whereby male and female are actually playing together, open tournament, and making a super zonal event. Of course, this is the first of its kind. And why did this happen? Let us talk about why this really happened. You see, the tournament was supposed to be opens and female, where a minimum of 10 players were expected from the opens and a minimum of no, sorry, a maximum of 10 players were expected from the opens and a maximum of 10 players are expected from the female. This means 2 players from each zones qualify to play in the Super Zonal. So unfortunately, some players were not able to make it due to one reason or the other. So we now have 6 females at the end of the day to 4 males. So imagine, and the only way you can make this happen doesn't make any sense playing a round robin or just 3 rounds, and it will negate or what would I say? It will affect the titles that they are fighting for because if it has to be 9 rounds with some other requirements for it to be an IM direct title event. Do you understand? So when you're just having 4 players, it doesn't work. There's no title involved. If that could happen, then I'm so sure maybe the 4 players will just play 3 rounds or double round robin or probably 6 rounds and everybody leaves. But here they have to combine everybody together to make 10, and now we have a 10 player round robin. I think Mr. Lakwete wants to say something else regards.
as regards no, I was just very excited. I was seeing some positions on the screen. I was like just revving to go. That was what I was
Oh,
on. Yeah.
okay, no problem. We'll talk about the position on the screens one by one and we'll get everybody up to date. But another thing we have to understand is this. Um, NCF are doing a very wonderful job organizing international events back to back, Zone 4.2, and now this is Super Zone. That's a very wonderful job being done by them. And kudos to the entire team, DIG Sonny Mohammed, Vice President Prince Adewola Yinka. That is a very wonderful initiative. And the entire board that were supportive of this, thank you very much. You guys are wonderful. So that being said, now let's list the players that are available in this event. Now, first, we have WFM Sana Prakash, yes, all the way from Uganda. He's playing, and she's already black against our zonal defending champion back to back in person of FIDE Master Abdurrahman Abdurrahim. And that game, we're going to look at it. I'm coming. And next, we are having our wonderful female player, Sulaiman Azumi Aisha. She's playing against WGM Wafa Shuk, all the way from Egypt. That's going to be an interesting game, in our opinion. And we also have Ofowino Todishemwa, our woman beater, who is also the defending champion. I'm sorry, man beater. We call her man beater, who is also the defending champion of the West African zone. I think this lady has won this event like 4 or 5 times. I think they should even name the event after her right now. It should be Ofowino Torishemowa Zonal Championship. They should not call it Zone 4.2 anymore. Honestly, when it comes to that, they should just name it after her. 4 to 5? Come on. Anyways, that's still a record who anybody is going to try to beat in the probably the next maybe 5 to 10 or 20 years. Next, we are having actually playing against Olisa Tennyson. Don't forget Olisa Tennyson was the one that pulled the only defeat to the highest rated player from Cape Verde, I am International Master Ortega in at the zone 4.2. Now here he qualified coming second, and thanks to Abdurrahman coming first back to back, so he got a chance to play in this event. And it's going to be a very exciting match, rather. And we also have WIM Nasarlina from Algeria, and she's playing against Mohammed Achim from Chad, and this is also going to be an exciting match. And we also have Amako Mark Arnold for Cote d'Ivoire, also playing against WCM IMO Mars. I'm sorry, I didn't get the full IMO Mars. Sorry, let me get it. IMO Mars Mazan, all the way also from Cote d'Ivoire. See, this is going to be interesting. So now this is where Mr. Lapito Ladrosini has been itching to get into the games as fast as possible. I'm going to try and click on the very first one to check the analysis. Let me see if it's going to be rendering well on my page up here. Good. So we can just scroll up and let me see if we are having the full details. No, we are not. So hold on a second. And let me make that happen. Bring this one down a little bit. Bring this one back up. And I think from here, we are 100% good to go. So I'm going to quickly dash back and just let's look at the what is it called? The moves from
Opening
A to
moves.
Z. So are you ready, Mr. Lakutela Brittany? So we are having knight F3,
Oh, Tolu, are you ready?
Yes, let's go.
knight F6. We go knight F3. I mean C4, English, D4. Okay. Now you're playing against some kind of okay. I actually thought we were going to be playing against the King's Indian. And all of a sudden, I'm seeing D5. One
Yeah, it's a
takes.
Grunfeld open.
Drone.
Standard moves. Okay. Knight C3, pawn C3, C5. So rook b1 is a pet line Abdurrahman and I worked on a while back. It's a favorite of Boris Gelfand, I think. We liked this line a lot. We looked at it. I gave it up a bit because it was too much theory, but he continued to play it and with a lot of success. So this d5 pawn push is typical. It looks like, wait, what is happening? You're just giving up a pawn on c3 with check, but that is one of the points of the line. It's after you can make some moves, bishop captures on c3. I believe that was not played, so we can just quickly check it out. After bishop
Oh, okay.
captures on c3,
Okay,
let's
let's
go
look
back a
at it.
move.
Bishop C3. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
bishop
sorry about that.
c3.
Bishop C3. Yes.
Yeah, bishop d2.
Bishop C2. Bishop takes again, check.
Yeah, bishop captures. Yeah,
Then queen takes.
queen captures.
Then
Yeah,
knight
first of all, you
disappears.
have to answer the question: where exactly is the knight going to? That's the first question you have to answer, and then it becomes you can see this the king is going to castle to the king side most likely.
Mm-hmm.
This the black king I'm talking about is going to castle to,
Yeah.
and with the absence of the dark squared bishop, you can see that there's going to be some problems for black's king. There's possibility of, like, for instance, h4 h5. You can indicate that with, like, Naria h4 h5, capturing on g6, and then using the queen and the rook to cause checkmating ideas. And also you can see that white has it like a very big center with
Yeah.
e4 d5 pawns. So this is also, I don't think people play this, but I think it's also a possibility. People have worked it out to something. I think maybe somewhere along the line you play knight a5 f6 or something like that and pray to God. Yeah,
Did you just say pray
it's
to
not
God?
yeah, but it's
No.
not a pleasant line to play as black, I think. So no, I don't think
Wow.
anybody really plays that.
Because I'm
So
even
in
seeing
case people are thinking,
knight
yeah,
a5 king has to move. You can't even do bishop. Nice
yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You can do bishop. Wow.
yeah.
Okay,
So
so let us go back to the life to the knight e5, I believe, was played.
yeah, 95 was played.
Knight takes,
It takes,
bishop takes.
takes, and then usually the bishop goes to b2. So you play pawn to c4. Once again, the idea is consistent. You play pawn to c4, you play bishop b2, you exchange those dark square bishops because you want the area around the black king to be very weak and on the dark squares. And okay, let's go on. I think we'll see something about that in the next few moves.
I actually think I'm getting to understand it. I'm getting to understand the fact that even after you are able to exchange this bishop, did you notice right now that this bishop is looking a little bit no squares, no reasonable
Yes, it
squares?
has. Yes, yeah. It doesn't have so many squares, and because of the white central pawns, it also restricts the bishop, and it sort of stifles black a lot. So
Wow,
yeah,
that's
that's what, like, some of the main ideas of the opening from the white perspective.
wow, this is interesting. Castles what happened, bishop out, queen out. Of course, rook there. That's the only move to defend that. Queen goes back, and wow,
Pawn
okay,
to f4, giving a lot of
castles,
space.
rook out. Wow, this is interesting. Bishop here, exactly the way you said it. You want to remove all those bishops.
Yeah,
Now, which of the pawns is going to take? Which of the pawns? This pawn, e pawn took. Bishop takes bishop right now. Mission accomplished.
Yes, pawn
Wow.
to f5. Yeah. And I was already
Then,
getting very excited here
but
because,
uh-huh.
yeah, you were going to say something.
I was thinking, is that not, why is it giving him a free pawn? At least for
Yeah,
people
yeah,
like us that don't understand why.
no, of course, I'm sure you understand. After bishop times f5, the move that is coming is rook captures f5. Even to look and
Oh.
see that, I'm sure it's like even how weak he is. You can see such a move. Yeah,
So
rook
like,
times f5, and the king is just too open. You know, it's just too open. It feels like after pawn times, I believe maybe okay, queen g5 looks good. I was
queen
also looking at
g5.
rook g3 first.
Oh, rook g3
No,
also.
no, no.
Yeah, that's a rook g3 is also
Yeah,
an
yeah.
interesting idea.
I think yeah,
Because now,
rook
where would the king go to? The king
g3.
has to go. The king can't go here. It mustn't come here. This is
I think
problematic.
F8 is the only choice.
What?
F8 is the only
f8.
choice. King.
f8.
F8
Yes.
is the only.
Yeah,
Yes.
Then queen check here, right?
Yeah. The king can king to E7. Maybe try to run towards outside.
there should be something. There should be something nasty here.
Rook check. Queen. Rook.
Um,
Rook check. No. Or queen check.
It's
did we
go
have
to
to
the
make the
light
king
square.
escape to
Oh, okay.
e7? I'm wondering if we
Okay.
we
Is there
have
a way you can? Is there a way you can stop the king from getting to e7? Is that what you're saying?
can we go back one move?
Yeah. After. Okay. Instead of queen e6. So after king f8.
Go back one move. Yeah, yeah.
We
Can you play d6 after queen king f8?
after checking f8.
After
Okay.
king,
So first
yeah,
things first.
then
We
d6.
d6 first. Oh, now we are sparking. Now this is. I think
Then
this
we can
is.
play
This is
queen h6
GG.
checkmate.
Okay, okay. This wins immediately.
This wins immediately. Now
This
Yeah.
wins
that's correct.
immediately.
I agree. Or you just, or you lose your queen for a bishop. Maybe.
Yeah, yeah. So it's,
Or you lose your
it's
queen
not
for a
like
bishop.
I
That.
think I think it's still possible to play something funny, like let's say rook captures on e2.
There's
But
queen
okay,
check
that's
on
not that
Rook
does
H6.
takes
yeah
c2.
that
It
doesn't
doesn't
interest
affect
me
the
much.
price of Gary in the market because of the queen check
Come
immediately.
on, come on. Like I
Yeah.
say, I expect better. This
Yeah,
wins
so you take
immediately.
this. Did you just say yes, not better?
Don't mind
Okay,
you.
okay,
Someone
I would.
someone who didn't see the move pawn to d6. Okay, so yeah, that's
So we go back
that's
to oh really no, this is not where we are. We
yeah. So
were
I was thinking that that's most likely the defense. So I was thinking about some defense, possible defensive ideas for black in that position. I was thinking queen e5 or pawn to f6. That was what I
okay,
was
so
trying to work
from
out.
here, we're looking at from here, right?
Yeah.
Queen, here Queen C7 was played, F this was
No, no,
played.
at the current position.
No, we're coming back to the current position. Takes.
Okay.
We were here. Check. Now we were in
Yeah,
between
yeah. Go back one
bishop
move,
taking
please.
the pawn. We were like bishop take. Why is
Yeah,
the bishop not taking the pawn? That's what we're doing, right? Okay, so you were saying what here?
yeah.
F5 was the
After
move.
pawn to f5.
Yes.
Yeah. I was considering defensive ideas like maybe queen e5, trying to play queen d4. If you are going to go into a pawn down end game and just try to
But
escape the
is
attack.
is that not too slow? F6 queen H6 or removes
No,
black's plan.
f6. Yeah, queen e5,
Queen
f6, then
H6.
king h8. That was what I was thinking.
Then you play your
Uh,
then you play king to H6
yeah,
or
yeah,
queen
then
to
rook
H6
g8.
rather.
Yeah, rook g8. That was the plan. If you
Ah,
can follow that, please,
you
Chief
said
Wills. Queen
not
e5 was what we
usually
were talking about. Let's
Okay,
look
you
at
were
queen
queen what
e5.
anytime.
for
Queen to
black? Queen
e5. Black queen to
black.
e5. Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah,
yeah.
one
Pawn to
queen
Pawn check.
immediately.
f6.
Yes.
King h8.
King H8. Yes. Oh, sorry. King H8.
H.
Apologies.
Oh no,
King
king
H8.
H8.
Yes. Then we're
Yeah,
looking at queen here.
queen h. Yeah, and then I was trying to see if rook g8 can kind
Oh,
of,
okay. I
you
can
know.
see something interesting. Rook G8, Queen 8, no, Rook A3.
Yes, I was saying that,
Okay.
but there's a pin for a bit. That was the point. There's
Oh, that is
Rook
just a move. I'll play Queen H on King H1. Rook G8,
okay, rook
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 A3,
e8, rook e3. Yeah.
Rook.
Rook
Why are you
A3.
playing Rook E3?
Rook
Why
E3
not
with the
rook
idea
h?
of going Rook E8.
Okay, rook e3. Okay,
E3
rook
with
e3.
Rook E3.
Okay, rook e3. Yeah,
Yes, with
sure.
Rook
Then
E3.
queen d4.
Queen
Queen d4.
D4. I just play
Pins.
my
Then move the king away, right?
Aha,
check like that.
and then quickly move the bishop to maybe somewhere f5 or to
Bishop f5.
d7 or to somewhere. I'm not sure
Bishop
Oh,
f5
f5.
is good
F5.
because rook time. I'm
No,
not sure
rook time.
about
Oh, Rook
f5,
takes
but
F5.
Does it work?
Rook
Does rook
takes
times
F5.
f5 work?
no, I don't think it
It
works.
doesn't
Your
work.
back rank is a
Is that
bit
not a
low.
king?
Doesn't because of the back rank. Because of the back rank.
There is nothing there for rook a5.
Yeah. So if yeah, so that was what I was hoping would hold, but
It
I
doesn't.
was not sure. I could not believe that black can have a position like this and there will be no blow somewhere. You know,
Yeah. So
it feels
if
as if
you
something will happen.
so if we look at it again from queen e5, we're still trying to see maybe something else that can happen. Maybe still the pawn check, the king moves away. Then probably you just have to take it nice and slow. Maybe bishop out first. Just bishop somewhere.
Yeah, but
The question
bishop
is
where?
where.
No, but yeah, but queen h6 makes a lot of sense. You are
Okay, even
directing the
with queen
rook
Yes,
e6,
to
immediately
let
g8.
directing the rook here, yeah, sure. But even if the rook comes there next, and
oh, okay, wait. What of G4?
g4 immediately.
Okay, g4 with the idea of queen times h7 check.
Or Rook?
Yeah.
Yeah, this looks
Exactly.
now. This is but no, but does that
Oh,
work?
Queen. Oh, there is Queen.
Yeah, but there's still bishop times g4 or queen to d4. If we go back a move, there's also bishop captures on g4.
Yeah, there's also bishop times g4. Yes, also this immediately. Just take it immediately, and after bishop takes back, then yes, yeah, the queen check, and after the king runs away, then
Yeah.
queen takes bishop, and that hasn't affected the price of Gary in the market. So I
No,
guess.
well, okay, yeah, I guess it's difficult. Yeah, so it's not clear, but I mean, it looks like a dangerous attack. But so that
Wait,
was the
Rook
option.
H3 doesn't work. Rook
Queen
Immediate.
H3
e4.
doesn't work.
Is queen e4 a can you
Then you
can
play
you can you
Rook F,
hope for a
Rook
perpetual?
F, F3.
Yeah, then queen where? Queen e1, I guess.
Oh, okay,
That's the
wait,
only
wait,
check.
wait, wait. Instead of that, what of just King G1? King G1. The
After the
checks
check,
will reduce. King
king
G1.
g1.
After after Queen E4 check. After Queen E4 check, yes. Then you play Rook F2 now.
Yeah, but after instead of that, why not queen
Just how
g4
many?
check? Okay, but this is also fine, I think.
Oh,
It's difficult to escape the
so this
checks
is also
somehow.
still
Yeah, once you have to
it's
move the rook
difficult.
away, then
The white holes
maybe.
are too much.
Yeah.
The light square holes are
So
too much.
Maybe.
let's see the
Okay.
live position. So the other idea was what he played that I was trying to see.
That's the
That's
F.
pawn
That's
to
the F6.
f6.
Pawn to F6 was played in the game.
Yes,
Yes.
f6.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So although there is nothing to be happy about per se, but at least it prolongs the game for a bit. Maybe rook h3,
Wow.
starts to look okay. He played
Rook H3
d6. Is that what he
immediately.
played?
He
Yes.
played D6. First
Okay,
things
trying to
first.
cut off the
Handicapping
queen.
the queen
The
first.
queen. So after the queen moves in there, and now,
Okay, I'm starting to feel like if Abdurrahman would probably have calculated all this to some sort of mate or something like that. That's what it's starting to feel like because the position is already screaming. Position is already screaming. You know.
Mate,
the
mate,
interesting thing,
mate, mate.
the interesting thing about it is Abdurrahman is just 1 hour 13 minutes, and his opponent is already on 28 minutes.
Yeah. It's the kind of position where your opponent has to think, but then you can also think on your opponent's time, and then you can just make your move. And
Mm.
you can just because, like I said, when I was looking at the position, there were only two defensive possibilities I was seeing: Queen e5 and pawn to f6. So in your opponent's thinking time, you could have figured out what you want to do against queen e5. You could have figured out what you want to do against pawn to f6. So it's I mean this
Wait,
is
there's a silent
okay.
move which could be very harmful for black here. Just bishop f3.
Bishop f3, yeah.
Just yes, just bishop f3 here.
Okay,
Bishop
let's
f3,
see.
you're planning to improve
Bishop
the position of your bishop to d5. You are also threatening moves
rook
like
times b7.
e7.
If
Exactly, if the bishop moves away.
yeah,
Somehow splits the position into two.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
just bishop
that's
f3 here.
that looks nasty. But what about okay, bishop f3, queen times c4, with the idea that
And you
you
play
want to play
pawn
queen
push,
d4 check.
that's a four. Just pawn push,
Pawn push to
d7.
d7. Okay,
Yes, you're
okay.
gaining a piece.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
light out.
that works.
That's light out. Lights out.
Wow, this is getting interesting, and it's not funny for WFM Sana or Prakash all the way from Uganda facing the monstrous Abdurrahman A for attack in this kind of scenario. Well, probably it's time to move to the
Well,
um.
just before we move to another game, if we can go
Okay,
back to the opening,
okay,
so that people would not think that this is a first win for white, playing rook to
okay.
b1. So I just wanted to show that black also has some ideas to fight here. So after c5 rook b1, let me see. I believe we can play c times d4.
C times Z4. Okay, immediately. Okay,
Yeah, I believe that's the move. And then pawn times d4. Um, I think the move is queen to a5 check. I think that's the main line. Queen to a5 check by black. Bishop to d2, because you want to kind of attack, so you want to keep your queens on the board. Then queen captures on a2.
Queen captures on A2 just like that, just immediately. Wow.
Yeah. So this, I think, is the main line for black. Black has an extra pawn, but white has like the typical compensation, the center, possibility of an attack on the king side, and maybe you can gain time on the queen by attacking it, gaining some tempo. So, but I think this is the main line, and so that people don't think, oh my goodness, I'm never going to play the Grunfeld against FM Abdurrahman. He's just going to crush me. So
But
it's possible to play like this.
I'm also looking at the fear not only of the pass or not only of the extra pawn, but the fear of these past pawns in the not too distant
Yes,
future.
yes,
It's
yes. So
also
that
yeah.
is some of the trumps black has. Although it takes a while before you can mobilize those pawns, because for the meantime, black will have to absorb some pressure, in the form of his queen not having a stable square and the possibility of let's say something happening on the king side. Yeah, so the theory goes on. There are some moves. Bishop, maybe queen is after castling bishop to g4, sacrificing a pawn on b7, trying to destroy the white center and stuff like that. But anyway. So I just wanted to show this possibility so that people don't give up on the Grunfeld when they
Mm.
play Abdurrahman. It's not
From
it's not
from
automatic 1-0.
So, ladies and gentlemen, grown-fed followers, Mr. Lakota Eduardo team has already told you that. Don't worry, don't be scared. Don't worry, you got it all under control. So, you guys don't run away from. Please don't run away from the grown-fed. Play it against anybody, but just know your main lines. I think that's the bottom line. Know your main lines, or else
Yeah, I'm not.
Abdulrahman, the likes of Abdulrahman will just rush you the same way they're rushing them over here. Okay, quickly let us go
Let's see
to
the live position. Has anything changed?
I don't.
No, no, no.
This is.
Abdurrahman is here to play.
I don't
His
think so.
timer is still moving, so he's here to play. Oh wait,
No,
he
no, no.
Uh,
has.
He captured on G6.
He captured.
yes, back to the live position. No, from here. So after the queen came here, pawn takes g6 and pawn takes back, and now this is the final position at the moment.
Okay, all right, no problem. We can. I think we can move on then.
We can move on. Okay, so that is it. Since that we can move on, let us quickly jump in and bring in to the next game. So who's our next opponent that the next game that we should look into? Let us quickly look into
I think the Wafa Shuk and Azumi game was
Sulaiman
really
Azumi.
interesting to be
Yeah.
honest.
So here we go to Wafa Rook, woman grandmaster, playing against Sulaiman Azumi
Both of the
Aisha.
sense are
And
very good here.
we are going to start from the beginning, one by one again. Let's start from E4, C6, D4, D5. And
Arokan exports. You should show
and,
us
get,
one
and
or two things
we
here.
have the Karokan expert. I almost said it that we have the Karokan experts in the house. Just this night
Uh,
here, pump push here,
yeah,
castles. Is there anything strange so far so good or still book?
yeah. The everything is atrocious. It's terrible. Um, everything is
What?
wrong. Uh, yes,
From,
yes. So
from
let's go back to the very beginning.
okay, one by one.
This is
Let's go.
what you want to avoid. Playing the Karukan. Okay, so E4, C6, D4, D5, D5, CD5, and pawn to knight to F3. Okay, knight to C6, all standard. Then pawn to
C4.
C4. So it is here that we must start our journey. If we go back a move, because of this position, okay, so um, okay, I'm going to explain a bit of theory here, but I think it's an interesting theory. So let's delve into it. So after pawn to C4,
Yeah.
as played in the game, pawn to C4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, usual and typical is knight to F6, keeping the path for the bishop on C8. If you can draw an arrow for the bishop on C8 to G4, keeping it open so that the bishop doesn't get stuck behind the pawn chain. All right. So, but this is a very theoretical line. Let's go. There are many options, but in the game between okay, no, let's go back. Let's go back. After knight to F6, knight to C3, bishop to G4. Okay, pawn times C5,
Knight
knight
takes.
times D5, queen to B3, bishop captures on F3, pawn captures on F3, queen captures on B7. I'm sorry, pawn to E6. Pawn to E6 first. Queen captures on B7. Knight captures on D4. No,
What?
knight captures on D4.
Oh, sorry.
Knight captures pawn on
On the
D4.
D4, yes. Hold on, D4.
Okay, then bishop to B5 check.
Knight goes back to take.
Knight
Take the move.
captures. Then queen to C6 check. Okay, then
Hmm.
king to E7.
Interesting.
Okay, then queen captures on B5. Right. So this is a very popular line. This actually happened in the zone 4.2 between Mustafa versus Tessie, the national champion.
Wow.
Tessie actually got a very good position as black, but in the complications, maybe because of the exposed nature of his king, he faltered and he lost that game. I think maybe I'm not sure if that was the only game Tessie lost in the zone 4.2, yeah, but he lost this game from this position. So this position is very, very popular and is typical. But however, it's not everybody's cup of tea to play like this. You want to no F6 actually is what you want to play. F6 King F7 is the
Yes.
kind of setup you want as black, and then the bishop can come out through that. So, but it's not everybody's cup of tea as black to play like this. So that is why if we go back, I guess I can review part of my own opening ideas. It's fine, Tolu. Don't worry. I'm not worried about you.
It's the way you say your opening ideas, like they are so good. Your Karokan can't get you a win. So why are you so?
So where do we go back
we
to, Mr. Lakute? Which at what point?
let's go back a bit more before knight to c6. Yeah, before knight to c6. Okay,
Okay.
so to avoid the bind that we got in this game, I think I usually play the move knight to f6.
Forced. Mm.
Yeah, and then after pawn to c4, pawn to e6. Okay, so this line was, I think, popularized by what's his name? By Anatoly Karpov. And the idea is that you take on at some point. Okay, I'm not going to go run through the theory. It's so that we don't bore everybody. At some point, you take on c4, and then you try to play against as black. You try to
Yeah,
play
it's that
against
point.
white's isolated pawn on d4. And, white plays for the attack, black plays to exchange pieces. In typical style that we teach kids. But why then don't we just start with knight to c6? So I'm going to show you why. Let's go back to what happened in the game.
Okay, so in
Let's
the
go back
game,
to what happened in the game.
in the game, here we
Knight
go.
to c6 was played. Yes.
Yes.
But here, if you don't play the move knight to f6, which is the main line, if you play e6, the difference
Yeah.
here, after pawn to e6, the difference here is that at some point, black and white can just play the move on to c5. And the knight on c6 is not ideal in that structure. So let's go forward a bit.
And that's like what happened in the game.
c5, and then the knight on c6 is not ideal because you get moves like bishop to b5, and it's not easy to organize the e5 break. Okay, so the idea black can play for here, after you have stopped this, maybe the idea black can play for is to play knight. Let's just draw an arrow to signify what is happening. Knight to f6, knight on f6 to e4. We don't need to play it, we can just draw an arrow. Okay, then
Yeah.
pawn on f7 to f5.
Oh, to have the kind of
All right, so to
stonewall structure
stonewall, exactly, and
or
have some
dot.
control over the center. But if you don't understand that there is a big problem happening, you will just continue making moves and you will get into a very, very difficult position as Azumi has gotten into in this game. So let's go forward. After bishop to b5, she's just making moves, castles, queen to c7, already very strange. All right, so rook b1. This person is already trying to play the bind. Okay, bishop a4. Okay, pawn to e5. Already, that means you are signifying that you are going to leave the pawn on c5 on the board, which is going to
Pass
cause, yeah,
Wait,
it's
I want to ask
going
you a
to really
question.
strangle you. Yeah, sure.
Mr. Lakpita.
Rotimi is
Oh,
fine.
I
I'm
don't
listening to
understand
you.
this setup. So
Yeah.
let's take it a bit back.
All right. So where?
Okay. So immediately after before take it back. Okay, why not? Yes, after rook b1. No.
Okay.
Castle queen c7, rook b1. Oh,
Okay.
why can't black go for e5 here? Is e5 not working?
e5.
E5. What happens after the bishop takes
Yes.
But
pawn
bishop
first?
captures on c6. Is that not a
Also,
pawn?
pawn takes. It won't work. It won't work. I was saying pawn takes e times d4.
No, but pawn takes
So now I'm
d4, then
saying
knight
knight
times
times g5.
d5.
Knight
Yeah, and
d5
then
is
you
next
win it.
one. Knight d5. They
Knight
are
times
threatening
d5,
this,
yes.
and you can't take here. So
And it's
So
okay.
the
I
guy is
understand.
always preventing all your breaks with pawn to b5 or pawn to e5 or pawn to b6 is another break you can try for. But by this point, white is already ready for it. He's already ready to play b4. He's ready for all sorts of things. So it's not really clear you can do that. Okay, let's go forward to what has happened.
okay. In the game, just go quickly forward to what happened in the game. Actually, okay. It's still correct to this. Here goes back. Knight in here. He wants to remove she wants to remove the bishop. But I can't give
Yeah,
you the
but
chance
of
to do
course,
that. Yes. Now we can kick the
yeah,
knight. Kick the knight. Then it goes back.
yeah,
Then we can
easy.
reinforce. Rook E1. Now you see, still on your
So
idea, still on the idea of stopping this pawn coming forward.
yeah, so you will see that what black has done nothing, and white has prevented the plans that I said black should go for. For instance, E5 break is not possible. The B6 break is not possible because you've pushed the pawn to B5. And also the last plan we mentioned, knight to E4, trying to set up a stone wall with pawn to F5. You know, it's also not possible because you are controlling the E4 square. So in fact, it's almost as if black cannot do anything. He's just black. She's just it's I don't know. It's not good.
I
It's
think
not
there is
good for your
the
eyes.
word
This kind of
the word
position.
you're looking for is sitting duck.
Yes, yes. And rook on f to d8. You know, here
No,
maybe you could even attempt to play b4, trying to muddy the waters. But rook on f to d8,
before,
not even
before. It is
clear.
this.
What
Huh?
did you say, Mr. Telu?
Like either b4 or rook f to b8 instead.
Yeah.
Instead of
Just
going rook
just
b8, you could have
looking
just
for
gone
breaks.
rook to d8.
Hmm.
Yes, that's a line.
Bishop went back.
Yeah.
Knight
And the
here.
bishop went
Mhm.
to c2. Okay, I believe the bishop went to c2 intentionally to prevent this idea because black maybe was threatening some things. Okay, rook on f to d8. It was planned against the d4 pawn. All right, let's see how
But but
white reacted.
it doesn't
Bishop
work.
captures. Oh, that's interesting. Why not knight captures? Sorry, let's go back a bit.
Let's go back. I was
I'm trying to understand why knight captures is not a better move than bishop captures. Maybe I understand that.
oh wait, hold on a
That's
second.
interesting. Okay, so I have a feeling that there are some tactical ideas. Okay, knight captures, pawn captures,
Knight
bishop
capture.
captures. Is knight d4 capture impossible? Let's try to make some moves on the board.
Knight
Tolu, you're the
takes.
one who knows how to calculate, so I'm going to give this one.
Pawn takes. Then
Bishop
bishop
takes.
takes.
Okay,
Bishop
then
takes.
bishop times c5. All right. So that's why she captured with the knight.
The knight. Yeah. So to stop that.
All right, to
Or
protect the
that's why she
c5.
captured with the bishop, brother. That's why she captured with the bishop.
Yeah, bishop. Okay,
Yeah.
bishop.
So knight holds on to this pawn.
Yeah, but what happens? Okay, knight times d4. Yeah, I was going to say that knight times d4
The knight takes knight.
and pawn to e5.
Black is starting to brood.
Yes. I think that it's along the way. I think our last move after rook on f to d8, Wafa's last move was not vigilant enough.
In fact, I think Wafa might
I said
be
that
in this position is now not is no longer following. Is it safe to
Well,
say
it's
that
still except.
except what?
Is it safe to say? Yeah, I'm listening.
That Black has already survived all the problems that she had in the first place.
Well,
he has
there's
a
still the
double
pawn on
pair. Rook
c5.
is in the game.
There is nothing that the
There's
pawn on
still the
c5 is
pawn.
going. The pawn on c5 actually, in my opinion, is going nowhere.
Yeah.
Absolutely
So for
nowhere.
instance,
And the,
you can play the
black's
move
light square
pawn
bishop
to.
is looking like a bit off.
Oh,
You
okay.
can
So
play the move pawn to b4 with the idea
pawn
of
to
bishop to
b4.
b2. Yeah, let's
And
let's let's try that move. Let's see what happens after pawn to b4.
but pawn to b4. Are you keeping an eye on queen to what is it called? Queen to. Okay, probably this pawn will have to come forward then. Maybe
I think we can do that. Okay, let's try pawn to b4. Why not?
pawn to b4. Okay, pawn b4. Uh-huh. Then I was
Okay,
actually
threatening
looking at.
bishop b2. You said in
You are threatening
c6.
bishop b2. I was actually looking at increasing the number of attackers on this guy over here.
All right, let's increase.
But there's f3, right?
You can
Okay.
increase.
But there's f3. That's the only way to stop it.
Okay. It's possible that white has already lost control here.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
just to be sure, that's why I'm looking at moves. Okay, so what do you want to do? Rook
Okay,
on f to d8.
what of bishop c8 with idea of f4 f5?
Bishop
Yeah,
c8.
bishop
There's
c8, but the queen
bishop
g3.
c8. G3.
Queen G3. Yeah.
Queen
Is it already?
G3
Yeah,
and
now hitting on
F5.
this one. I was not
Yeah.
F5.
Oh,
Queen
okay. The
times
rook is not yet open.
E5. Yeah.
The rook is.
Yeah,
Oh,
but I don't think Wi-Fi is in time. I think
it
Azumi
doesn't work.
with the move knight E4. Yeah, which we talked about a bit, but it seems like
See, she played the F3 earlier without the
um
B4. No,
why
no,
F3
no.
earlier? There's nothing, nobody's threatening anything. Why not just
No,
B4? B4 protecting
yeah,
the pawn.
yeah,
Yes.
just B4. Now,
And
this
another
bishop is going to
important
take
reason
now.
is that the move she played?
Yes, he played F3 immediately.
Ah, interesting.
If she
Okay,
played
maybe she wants
F3,
to play. I understand the idea. She wants to play Bishop E3. That's the idea. But
and
I
even
thought,
Bishop takes knight is even interesting. Bishop takes knight and Bishop takes one.
yeah,
Mhm.
There's no threat.
yeah. But Bishop takes knight. What do? You take with the pawn, and then Rook Bishop takes, and then Bishop E3. I think.
Bishop B3.
Yeah. Okay. You can make moves on the board now. Abi? Or the moves been
Okay,
made already.
okay, yeah. Looking at okay, we were looking at Bishop. I'm looking at Bishop takes. Now you're saying pawn takes, right? I said Bishop takes. I mean pawn takes. Say Bishop takes. Then you're saying Bishop B3.
Yeah, but this is good
Uh,
for black.
yeah,
This is
that's what
good
I'm
for
saying.
black.
Black is perfectly okay.
Yeah. Rook C4. Anything is good. Rook D3. Yeah, it's all
Rook
good. It's all
D3.
good.
It's okay. I think that's what I'm saying. I think black is out of the woods. I think black is looking like it's calling the
Yeah.
shots. Now it is now white is having a an isolated pawn right now
Problem.
that needs to be that
Yeah.
needs to be defended. Okay, so but what happened in the
So
game actually? Now the question is
let's see
what
the
happened in
live
the game,
position. Yes.
and that's exactly what happened. Live position. Pawn takes. Bishop takes. Queen G3. Oh, I don't think this is live position. Yes, this is live position, and this is where they are.
Okay, okay. So we can definitely say that white has lost control completely, and black is just crushing.
Black is cruising. Black
Black
is
is better.
cruising.
Not yeah, black is cruising. So so usually in this kind of positions, I like to look at where the turning point was. So let's go back to the point just before she played. After she played rook on f to d8, just before she played knight to e4.
Rook on F to D8 from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rook f d8. Okay, so here I think is the point where you need to maybe pay some extra attention here.
Mm.
So I'm thinking pawn to g3. What do you think, Tolu? I'm thinking pawn to g3. Is that a move?
Pawn to G3.
Yeah, pawn to g3. Let's make the move on the board.
Are you
Let me
playing
see
pawn? Are you
if it makes
playing
any
pawn to
sense.
G3 because you want to play bishop to F4?
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, let's make the move on the board, Chief Wheels. Let's see if it prevents what white is trying to do.
You want to play pawn to G3? Okay, sorry. Quickly, pawn
Yeah, pawn to
G3.
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 Yeah, so should we continue with white's idea and black's idea of knight e4,
Okay, say 94.
bishop f4, bishop f4? Okay, so what to do now?
But exactly is the queen going?
What to do?
The queen has here D7 and C8. These are the only two squares. So it's not even about where exactly is the queen going. Only two squares.
Yeah, but there is also the option of knight captures on c3. I don't know if it's worth looking at, but okay, maybe it's not worth looking at. You have to calculate it a bit. But I don't think it works. So
It
does it
doesn't
work,
work.
Tolu? Doesn't work. Yeah.
It
So
doesn't
that means the
because
queen has to move.
of the extra attack on the bishop.
Yeah. So the queen has to move. Yeah.
Yes, yes. That's
Now where?
Maybe c8 so that
C8.
the queen
the,
yeah, the queen is still,
the rook can still
the rook on d8 is still eyeing that queen on d1.
that queen. Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
queen C8.
So the question now is it possible? It's not possible.
It capture the line.
Yeah, is it possible to capture the knight? No, not knight times. Not knight
With the
times.
rook?
Rook time. Yeah.
Wow.
No. This is
What?
dangerous. The dark square bishop, the light square, the black light square bishop is looking really good here.
Yeah. After that knight, yeah, it's the discovered
The
attack is terrible. It's terrible.
that, that, that
We have like a cat.
was not.
Okay, okay,
That'll be confirmed.
not to capture then.
We can capture, okay?
Okay, they can't capture.
Uh, what to do? Bishop c2.
So wait, are we saying the rook d8 move is more solid than we thought?
No. I feel like there are ways. Maybe what you should not do is capture on e4 and open up the position. Maybe you should just keep the position locked.
If we don't capture on d4, then the other plan you said earlier about knight e4 with f5 and black can fight a bit works.
Yes, it can fight a bit, but the problem is that black still
How
has
long?
some weaknesses. Because, for example, okay, after bishop c2, for example, let's see what if what I'm saying is
Bishop c2
an
f5
f5.
must be played.
Yeah,
Okay,
f5.
now the issue now is that the black's light square bishop is very useless now.
Yes, and for example, let's say knight e5. Let's
Knight
just
e5,
say
right?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so and now you're threatening to play pawn to f3. So
f3.
yes, it is true that. So I don't think you should have taken on e4. Taking on e4 allowed all of black's pieces that were
Position to open up a bit.
Yeah. The bishop on b7 suddenly became so sensible. The bishop on b7 that should have remained, So I think that's a case of wrong exchanges, which is
Oh,
strange
please, I
considering that
can see
Wafa is such a top
I
player.
can see change in evaluation on Abdurrahman's board. Can we go and see what happened?
Change in
Hold on
evaluation.
but hold on a second. Let us leave the change in evaluation on Abdurrahman's board. We'll definitely get to
Wow.
Abdurrahman back. But let us actually go and see every other players. Yeah, let's look at Torishe, the defending champion. What exactly is going on our own board as well?
Okay.
We'll pick them
No. We
one by
have to
one.
look at Abraman's board. We have to. Then
We want
we'll
to.
come back.
Okay. You want to look
Because
at
I want to
Abdurrahman's
understand
board?
how it is possible
Oh,
for the
oh,
evaluation to change.
Okay, so we stopped at
That means that they are,
we hold on. We stopped at pawn takes g6 and pawn takes
stop
g6.
that
So
pawn.
now
which
Pawn
already
takes
I don't think
g6.
Tolu liked that move. I don't think Tolu liked that
I
move,
don't
but
like it
okay.
because first of all, it gives black a lot of defending chances. The black's bishop can go to f5, can go to e6, but the pawn on f5 earlier was stopping the bishop from moving
It
freely.
was really
That
it
was why
was
I
it
like the
was
bishop. That's why I like the bishop f3 idea. And also, opening the bishop diagonal restricts our rook from going to h3 also, which would have been an
very
interesting idea
strange.
from us.
Very strange. Okay,
Yeah, so I
let's
don't.
go forward a bit and see what quickly happened.
sorry, people are actually requesting for the YouTube link. I've not actually sent it. About to do that. So sorry
There's a
for
YouTube
the
link.
delay. Yes, it's on YouTube, yo. You think it's on Discord? We're on YouTube live.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's YouTube. Chief Chess Media on YouTube, and people can actually watch our live videos. Apologies. Also, I'll send the link. Yes, now here we go. Here, share, copy, and send it to. All I need to do is just send just one person, and we'll continue from there. I think why am I doing that? Yeah, just copy this and paste it. Apologies for the little delay. Somebody is already pillars.
Yeah. So the thing is, people are always asking me if we are talking about this Abdurrahman here. People are always asking me, how do you get into time trouble? It's because I like to avoid things like this. I don't like the evaluation. I had such an attack. How can the evaluation change? That attack looked like I was just waiting like for 6 more moves, and I will hear, oh, he won 0.
I was
They
seeing
signed the
KO.
score
To
sheet.
be honest, I was expecting
Yeah.
KO.
So I don't really know. I mean, and he has so much time. I don't like that. I don't like that. But okay, it can happen to the best of us. It can happen to the best of us. And
To the best
Abdurrahman is,
of
I
us.
think, the best of us right now. So fine.
Uh,
Yeah,
um,
but I don't
well,
know. Okay.
you have a point
I,
there
I think
actually.
I think I think I think White's plan actually was to just go for the f6 pawn with the two rooks and also play the d7 to just win a piece. Easy win. So let's just see
Well,
where the
okay,
plan went
let's
wrong.
see. Can you please go forward? Let's see what happened.
Let's see what
Let me
happened.
see. Let me see. Give me a
Oh,
sec.
rook captures on e2, and then he was able to play
So
bishop
here,
and
that
capture
pin.
e4
Oh,
and bring his
oh,
pieces into the game.
Wait, is that not
ha,
okay?
Yeah,
Okay. And now that free
ha.
pawn check.
yeah. It seems like he miscalculated. But well, the only good thing is that in this position, the black king is still so very open. So most
So
likely you will
Yeah.
exposed,
still,
yes.
yeah, you will
And
get some
white pieces
chances. So
are well calculated. Rook on
yeah, yeah.
a8, you still need to make waste a move to
No,
bring
I
it
think
to
you will
the game.
probably centralize the queen
There's
with
still
queen e4 or something. The queen
queen
h4,
a4. You can play
h5.
the queen.
Well, it's possible. It's possible.
What is it called? Mr. Laputa, is it possible for you to share your screen? As an open the
Share
link. Do
my
you have the link?
screen.
Let me give you the link. Let me give you the link. I'll probably just share because I need to attend to something
The
like
lichess
urgent
link.
with the. Yes, let me share. Do you have it? I believe you have it.
No, please share. You can send it to me on WhatsApp.
No, I could just send it to your. Okay, let me send it to your WhatsApp. So that's makes
Oh,
life
okay.
easier.
I have the link over.
No, I just want to share it
Okay.
to so that they can. What is? Let me see. So,
No, you're using a laptop, right, Tolu? You can, yeah, you can have
Yes,
control of the
I can.
pieces.
no, I thought you are using a laptop also.
Yeah, yeah, but Tolu is such a stronger player, so it's always good for the stronger player to have control
It's,
of the of the pieces.
This seems like a trap.
it's a trap. It's a
No, no,
trap.
no,
Don't
no.
fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't fall
It's not
for it.
like
Don't fall for it.
at all.
Remember, I said Triple A was going to
Today
play
is yet
H4.
to.
Remember, I advocated for H4 for the move, and guess what?
Yeah,
H4
yeah,
is a
yeah.
move.
H4, 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 H5, trying to. Yeah, it's a move.
Yeah.
It's
So
a move.
I sent it to you, Mr. Lakute. I want to share your screen so that I will attend to my power source so that you can continue in the meantime. I just want to make sure everything is set before I do that. Because if
Let
I
me.
continue, you won't be able to make the moves from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so give us just 1 minute while I set up, trying to
No problem.
get the link on the laptop. But
Let me stop.
Oh, the link. Have you gotten the link? I can just send it
Yeah,
to you on Leeches.
I'll send to
yeah,
his WhatsApp.
I've gotten the link.
I'll send to him. Yeah.
Oh,
I just
okay.
want to.
So I just want you to be able to move this. You will be moving the screen and all, and people will be able to watch and do everything he wants to do, so that I can just use the opportunity to just wrap up. Because I'm hearing a funny sound from
Oh,
my.
is your laptop connected to is your WhatsApp connected to your laptop? I can't hear you.
We
Still
can't hear
not
you
connected.
anymore.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah, welcome
Yes, I
back.
can hear you.
Yeah, I have the link. I have the link. I have the link on my laptop. I've
Good.
already
So
opened the link. So just share my screen.
you just present and we good. Let me quickly um, create that avenue
Okay,
for
let
you
me
to create
split the
that.
screen. So
At least it's very important for you
okay.
to split the screen so that we will not be seeing the other screen where you are preparing for National Friends of Chess.
I don't even.
The
Okay,
first
so
place
share my
tournament.
screen. Which which shade are you throwing my way? Okay,
No,
so
no, no, I'm not.
it's can
I'm not.
everybody.
Actually, I'm not throwing any shade. Actually, it's the real fact. Are you
Yes.
saying you're not preparing for National Friends of Chess? Are you not? All those
No, it
you
doesn't
know,
prepare for tournament. It goes
it
on
doesn't.
vibe. It thinks over the game.
No, actually, guess what? The Zone
It
4.2 was
thinks
a training platform for him anyway. So, what you should
Uh,
expect. You should expect everything that he has learned
uh,
from Zone 4.2 at the NFOC. That's what he said.
all
so we should expect. Okay.
right. Let's focus on the games. Can everybody see my screen?
Yeah, I think your screen. Yeah, I can see your screen. Thank you very much. I just need to bring it up here.
All right. Tolu, are we
Yeah,
still
Just
together?
yeah, we're together, but just hold
of
on a
course
little
we
bit
are
for me.
always.
Hold on a little bit for me. Let me just bring up your screen on this stream so that everybody can see it live and direct. So, oh my goodness. Just a second, and now one more share screen. I'm only hoping that let me see this capture. No, 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 no. Yes,
Okay, okay.
yes.
I can
So
say something interesting.
stream
Um,
game.
Mr. Rotimi, are you still with me?
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So where would you think the black should go? E8 or F8?
Yeah,
I'm
I
looking
was
at
I
rook to
was
F8,
calculating.
this idea of rook to F8, queen F4 check, exchange the queen, the rook attacks the
Yeah,
C4 and the H4 pawn. And with
yeah,
lesser
yeah.
pieces on
That's
board, the king's safety won't really matter.
yeah. With queens off the board, then it's just it won't
Hey,
matter
if
at
she
all.
played rook E8, I don't like rook E8.
Probably she's also
Oh
trying
wait,
to
it's
attack.
rook E9,
Rookie one check, queen e5, and
queen
black is trying to be
E5.
the one attacking.
Okay, okay, okay. Two
Black
pieces
black
dominating
is
two
trying to
open
do the attack.
files.
Yeah, yeah, which was why I was a
But all
bit.
this kind of position can easily go wrong. Just one move and black can be in trouble.
Uh, I think Abdurrahman has
Rook
lost a
E8
bit of
might even be
control.
stronger. Rook E8 might even be stronger than rook F8.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Hmm.
That's the issue.
But what of queen G6? Queen G6 here.
Queen
Queen
g6
G6
where?
here. Queen, oh, Queen G3, sorry. Queen G3, you are threatening H5,
Okay.
you are threatening rook to D6. And you are stopping rook to E1 check.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that's most likely going to be his move. However,
Yeah, that's the only fighting move I can see.
he also in some lines where the rook tries to go away from the back rank, you're also threatening queen to b8
Yes,
if the rook
exactly.
tries to step up. Okay, so if queen to
So rook
g3, what
Queen
then do you
G3.
do? And you're also threatening rook d6, right?
D6, yes. There are just a lot of things to answer.
Okay, but after queen g3, what happens if you play rook f8 now?
You still attack. You still play. You go for rook d6.
So, sorry to interrupt. Somebody's audio is talking. Somebody has an audio on.
Oh, isn't me?
Okay, thank you.
Is it better now? Oh, okay.
Yeah, better. Thank you very much.
Okay, let's see. I'm not sure if people can if Tolu you can see my screen.
I can. I
I
can.
want to make some moves on the board to
Okay,
illustrate.
good.
Okay.
So the whole
Queen
world can
g3.
actually see your screen right now, so you can enjoy. Thank you. I'll be
Okay,
back.
so Tolu, you were suggesting queen g3, right?
Queen g3. Yes.
Yeah, rook f8. What happens? h5, and then queen check,
Instead of uh,
and then queen
instead of
here.
h5, why not rook to d6 instead of h5? Prefer the
Rook
rook
to
capturing
b7, you
that
mean?
pawn and get it. Oh no, no, rook to d6. Rook to d6.
Okay, looking in. No,
Oh, rook to
Exactly.
no,
d6.
finish.
Yeah, we capture the
Queen
rook.
check,
I just oh,
then here.
and now I can capture the pawn with a check, and I have
Okay,
enough
and then
time
here.
to play a move like I can. Oh no, this loses. It doesn't it?
How?
There is there is rook to g4.
Rook to g4.
Yes.
Oh, you're playing for. You are playing
Two
for.
pawns. H6.
Because somehow it's starting to look as if Azumi is playing a little bit scared. But okay, so that we don't spend too much time, we have not looked at the other games. Let's try to check it out.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I saw something now. Can we pick something on time? On the Aston game,
In the
the
previous
last
game,
board. No, in this, can't we play? Oh, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I was looking at here like point to F2 or something.
into F2,
Point to F2. But it doesn't look so
1
good.
times H6 check.
Your I into H to GH. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. You are just giving out all your
For who?
advantage. Oh, there's queen
Doesn't look good
cartouche.
for who?
Oh, for black. Looks
Well,
like I've given
it
out
seems like what she's
everything.
aiming for is to get into a safe position where you'll just be a pawn up. So
Yes.
in that regard, I guess this is not too bad.
For black should be able to get a lot more than this.
Yeah, I think
Well,
probably along the way she
what
displayed
of
it.
bishop f8? What of bishop f8? Um, let's take it back. Let's take it back. Take it back. Bishop f8.
Yeah, but it just looks a bit passive. That's what. Understand that it's playable,
Bishop.
but
I capture,
the bishop that
and
was
I still have.
active.
Yeah, the bishop there was way better there. So,
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Let's quickly go to the other games before we spend our
okay.
time on just we haven't even looked at what happened in Denison's game. Okay, pawn to c4, pawn
Man
to
Peter.
c6, and then knight to c3. Okay, and pawn to a6, e4, all standard stuff. I think the move that is actually very critical here is to play c5. You want to try to gain space and try to
Five. Since there is
yeah,
the
put
basic
So,
rule.
sorry guys. Sorry for
yeah.
intruding. There's still a background. What is it called? Playing going on somewhere.
Can't hear it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it has. I think it has been coming from Tolu as well. So I think he just yeah. Uh,
Sorry about that. Is it better now?
yeah. Yes, better.
Okay. So I think instead of c times d5, I think the more critical move is pawn to c5. But okay, because of the time we have spent on all the other games, let's just run through this. But somehow he seems to have caught Tennyson a bit off guard because he spent some time after the move pawn to a6. He spent a bit of time trying to figure out where he wants to go to. So probably doesn't have a particular setup for this. I think if you are playing the Slav, if you are playing these setups as white, you probably should have something against a6 and stuff. Okay, so a6 was played, queen b3, knight e5. He's trying to play for the queen side play, say that some of these pieces are caught here. So trying to maybe play for a4, a5, knight a4, trying to get some bind on the dark squares. So let's see how that goes. Castles, a4, okay, a5, knight times bishop d2, so probably aiming for knight a4, knight b6 or something. And that's strange. Sorry, let's go back a minute. Wasn't it possible to play if you wanted to play for that idea? Isn't it possible to do that here? Or am I missing something?
Would have preferred knight a4 actually.
Or maybe he was worried about this. Or can that be something to worry about?
But it shouldn't be because
Queen.
after knight a4, bishop goes back. Then the knight is still going to sit on the c5 or the same. There is no stress there. Was there?
You can go to
Yeah,
c5.
you don't even need to hurry it. You can just play bishop d2. and then wait until the appropriate moment to bring the knight either to c5 or to maybe after bringing the rook to the game. Now, you don't have to hurry this knight b6 idea to bring the knight to
Mm-hmm.
c5 or b6. So
Yeah.
that's why it's a bit strange, because I don't feel you want to exchange this knight for this knight. You want to play on the queen side. So that's why I'm looking at knight a4. Maybe there was something he was not happy with.
Now you question black's rook on a7. What exactly
Yeah,
are
yeah,
you
yeah,
saying there?
yeah. And important that this knight actually is going to b6 so that you can take over the c file. For instance, if this knight can get to b6, it's going to be difficult for your opponent to challenge on the c
And two
file.
rooks. Can
Yeah,
mobilize the two rooks. The rook on
yeah.
a7 will be stupid. The rook on f8 can come to the open file.
Well, it's possible he calculated something very direct. Okay, I mean, we can't, since we have a few other games to check out, we won't spend too much time, I guess. So knight e4, okay, rook on f to c1, still has a slight advantage, I think. Bishop to b4, trying to exchange on the dark squares. Okay, so this looks a bit equal. I don't really know what you want to do, because bishop b6, you just exchange and you play the move rook to c8. I believe black is fine, maybe even more than fine.
She can even delay the exchange by playing rook c6 first. After bishop to b6, rook c6.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, since you can't easily collect the c file from
I'm not really sure what this is about. I think you had to keep one knight on the
you're
board
trying to
for
bring the
there
other
to
rook.
be. What did you say?
I think like if immediately the rook goes to c8, black might even be
It will be
solid.
better.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's not really clear what's happening. So most likely after rook here, what will happen is rook here, rook here, and then rook here, and then maybe at some point rook to be exchanged on the c file. Maybe this is what Tennyson is playing for.
Maybe.
Okay, so this one just looks like a solid position. It looks like both of them are fighting for small things. Let's quickly look at the games we have not looked at. Is this the last game we've not looked at?
One more after this.
Oh, one more. Okay. So okay, e4. Finally, Tolu, you are happy. People are playing some open positions. Bishop c4,
Some good chess.
e6,
Màá but boy wá check
knight
màá fi
c3.
lọ
Okay, stopping d5,
content tètè parí.
knight
Ebi ń
c6,
pa mí.
f3, e4. Okay, I thought a4 was usual here. Trying to stop
a4.
b5.
Yes.
Okay. If b5 is played, bishop b7, knight f6. Okay, rook c8. I'm not really sure. Yeah, but here, do you take with the queen or do you take with the pawn? Take with the queen, yeah? And then try to play for b4, or try
And
to
the
play for
queen.
bishop to b4.
Exactly, or bishop. Yes. And you can keep matching those two pawns together, so it would be a bit difficult for
d6. I thought you were trying to play for bishop to b4. Why d6?
I lock the bishop inside.
Yeah, I'm a bit confused. Okay, bishop to b4, and then you play knight e2.
What is she scared of?
Yeah, but it's not easy. Maybe g5 and then queen g7.
She might be
Or what?
scared of a possible G5. And yes, I think that's what he's scared of the possible G5 and the Queen D7 because she has not castled. So
Yeah, but
you
she's
just have to rush
castling
it.
now. So what happened? G5. Okay, so after G4 was D5. No, D5 was probably not possible. Okay, all right. Tolu, any help here? What's interesting about this position? What will you be aiming for? Are you happy as black or as white in this position?
Yeah, I think both sides still have equal chance to like fight. There's
Okay, so
an immediate attack on the king side for white. Black is also attacking the queen side. So precise play.
yeah, so
This
maybe
looks like
black's
Idara
D6
in this
was good,
position.
so that after G5 you can put the knight on D7,
Okay, the
and
knight
maybe
can
the
go
knight
to
can try to,
yes.
yeah, because if not, then after G5 there was no sensible square for the. I don't really think you want to put it on H5
H5,
in this position.
H5 is
Yeah.
looking
All right,
too
so it's
draw.
fair. Queen here, and then knight E5.
Oh, I take it back.
Okay, so
I can't capture that pawn.
no, but there is a counter threat here.
Oh, okay.
Or is there not?
Wait, is there a counter threat? The king goes inside. Okay, capture. Okay, okay, yes, there is. But there is a draw. I check back up. There is a draw.
Yeah, it seems like it's a draw. Yeah. Maybe
Oh,
even.
but is slightly higher rated than our opponent. So I
What did
don't
you say?
think she would want that. It's just like me having this position against you, of course. Or
Against
trying
me,
to go out.
exactly. You won't want to take. Yeah, yeah. So that one coming.
So I can't
Take
blame her
some
for
beef.
just going for that plan.
It's fair. Okay, so bishop knight B5, typical tactical idea. Probably black missed this because what? Check. Did he miss this or? Okay. Wow. These guys are. What's happening here?
Oh, well, I don't
Okay,
understand. What's
that means white is in a lot of trouble. That means white has just lost a piece.
yeah? That's
Nothing.
a piece, a whole piece for zilch.
Yeah, for absolutely nothing.
Wait, is this live position?
Yeah. Well, this is a live position we are about to get to here. Yeah,
No,
this is
this
over. This is over.
no. This is completely black is completely winning it. So
Yeah.
hmm,
So
we'll
this
just
knight d5 tactic was a very fancy tactic by, let's go back
please,
there, was a
please
very
go back and
fancy
let's see.
tactic
Uh-huh.
by white, but the c2 pawn in all the variations is always hanging. So it wasn't really clear what his idea was. And I was wondering, rook a8, and rook a8 was indeed played, followed by queen to c7. Once you have a pin, put pressure on the pin. I think this is basic, yeah?
I mean,
And after the one check,
uh-huh.
and capture here because of the pin. The knight is pinned. It can't
Now,
move.
the fancy night check, does it remind you of someone?
Fancy knight check.
Yes. Does it remind you of someone?
I'm not. I'm
Please,
not
please,
sure.
please, 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 please. Let's keep analyzing.
Why are you begging me?
But was it possible? Was it possible to go? Well, no. Even that is not sensible, Abi. Was it possible to go knight d5? But even that is not. What is that? Yeah? What do you take with the pawn?
Yeah, knight d5 is still pawn takes pawn, yes. Queen takes bishop, queen takes the pawn, and the only difference is the only difference there, I think, is just there is no open file for the rook to go
Yeah, but
to a8,
yeah, but
and
what is
but But doesn't affect the
What
price
is
of
black
Gary,
going
like I
to
said
play?
in the morning.
No, but what's black going to play?
At the moment,
Yeah.
um, maybe Queen, maybe just Queen goes back to C7.
Yeah, but I was hoping that
Yeah,
because
then
of the
yes,
open C file and the fact that the king cannot join, that you just get. Or maybe is it possible to play Queen E7? But even
yeah,
Queen
Queen E7
E7,
is
no.
also possible from there. Yes, it is. Queen E7 forcing the Queen
Okay, but the
exchange.
check,
Check.
no, forcing with Queen exchange. We are not allowing any Queen exchanges here.
And the king has no choice but to just move a. But no, it has a choice. You can still move your. You can still move your queen there again. Yeah, can see queen there. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, maybe.
Then it goes back again. Then you go back again, right? Um,
But it's not clear. You can also play
then pawn
D5. I
push,
don't know. But it's,
pawn push.
no, but pawn push knight to C5 too. You have to be aware of. Yeah, but I think in the with the fact that the A file is not open, maybe knight D5 was the better option.
Yeah, in the 95.
Tolu, you the tactical man, what do you have to say?
I
Knight
got a
He,
D5.
he,
different
he, he
practice.
he can't he can't even answer to the name
Okay,
tactical man right now. He can't answer to the name tactical man at the moment.
so 4.2 is
Okay,
over. About to be tactical. I guess it's better now.
Did you minimize
we'll
your
check out
screen
the
to be
last game.
better? Yeah, better. Let's check the last game out.
Okay, E4.
Oh, wait, please, before we check the last game, I can see 0-1 on board too. Can we go and check?
Unbelievable.
What?
Unbelievable.
Okay,
Okay,
so from
zero
here, this
one.
is where we stop.
Wait, zero. No, but that's one
But
Oh,
zero.
1-0.
What?
That's 1-0. Wait, I'm confused. Is that 0-1 or 1-0?
don't worry, it might be an error from the. It might be an
Arrange
error, but let's
Okay,
look at it.
I believe.
It might be an error with the arrangement of the board, but let's look at it. What happened there? Check, check.
Okay, I think black
This is
one. Black
this is
one.
the mate. So black
Oh,
one. So
black,
probably
check,
when the
checkmate.
so this is the mate. Yeah. So probably when they were
Oh,
arranging it, they
okay.
might
So
arrange it
how,
mistakenly. Because that would
I
have
hope
been
this is what
scary.
happened in the
what
game
I
and
get the
it's
people. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. They played the pawn push here immediately.
Good.
Oh, 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 then she missed that.
no, but the position was already very bad.
Check. I
Ah,
love that sacrifice. That
that
sacrifice
was
was so. That rook sack was beautiful. Just making so.
That's amazing. That means that I mean this is I didn't know Azumi was a Karukan player.
Now you know, even
there's
if you played it badly. If you play,
Yeah, but
even if
you
you
can
play the
see that
opening in your, not to your taste.
yeah, but you can see that bishop captures on e4 by white was already like plus 1.7, but bishop captures was a terrible move. A terrible move of terrible proportions.
Yeah, just because of I
Because
think white
you
white was
just
the because of the pawn.
allowed in black at the cost of a pawn, the black pieces, the black bishop came to life, the rook came to life, the knight came to life, the bishop came to life. Just because we wanted to win one pawn. That's not people want to talk about this game anymore. Let's check out the last game.
Poisonous pawn.
Yeah, yeah. I don't like when people play chess like that. It's always painful to my eyes. At the cost of a pawn, you just let your opponent escape from a bind. That can't be good. Okay, so the last game, e4, e5. All right, so these guys are playing. It's a gambit, yeah.
The Scotch gambit.
oh,
Yeah, but the Scotch gambit. Are you not supposed to play e5 or something somewhere?
He castled first this
Is that
time
what?
around. I think it was
oh,
supposed to be E5 immediately. It was supposed to be E5
Uh,
immediately, I think. But wait for
went
wait,
okay, this one
what?
is one where you play knight to c3.
nice C3.
No.
Yes.
Okay, maybe it's another variation. The knight takes.
Yeah, but don't know if it's enough.
What is he doing? Okay, or what's she doing? Is that
Yeah, it's just trying to develop the pieces and to okay, so they've gone into an end game that looks sort of better for black, is what I would say. I think I prefer black. I
Yes,
don't know.
the
I like this
e-file,
king.
yes, the e-file is not so can't really
Yeah,
use it that
and you
much.
can always fight the e file if you want to.
You can
I
also
just like
fight
that
the e.
the black king is more active.
yeah?
That was interesting.
Okay.
Okay. Before we continue with the analysis, let me just quickly move this up and let us give appreciation to the partners and sponsors, ranging from FIDE itself, the African Confederation (ACC), and the National Sports Commission of Nigeria, Chess Slums, City Heights Luxury Hotel, and Nigerian Chess Federation, and Rights Foods. Thank you very much for the support and the collaboration for making the very first Super Zonals 2025 happen. A tournament that I believe our favorite, Mr. Lakuto Radiosim over here, will be looking up to next year, at least to be able to, push all these Karokan, theories at the Grandprix. I'm actually looking forward to seeing one of our guys playing at the, what is it called? Are the candidates. What do you think? Like Tolu, seeing a Nigerian, maybe someone like you, but of course you won't make that night sack anymore that time. Playing at the candidates.
No worry, give me 5 years. Give me 5 years.
Uh,
My prime is yet to come. Unlike some
what,
people, my prime is
what?
yet to come.
What do you mean? Unlike some people, are you trying? Is that his night rematch at Lakitora Grossing? What's going on there?
Oh no, no, he's a strong man. He's a strong man. But he has the boy is way past his prime, and his prime got him nothing.
What do you
I'm
What do
yet
you
to
mean?
get there.
Is what do you mean? Is way back? As a matter of fact, Lakitora Grossing actually won the Zone 4.2 base tournament. Yes or yes? Is that accurate?
Leeds, when all the players were exhausted, come on. He was so happy when he won. He was looking for a trophy. I was like, come on, when last did you win one?
Yeah, it's
But
killing me.
I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. At least you
It's
won a
killing me.
tournament.
Laughter was
Wow.
going
All
on.
right.
What's going on? Can you
I,
imagine?
I,
Anyways,
I have some clap backs, but there's an interesting rook end game here. So I'm
okay.
just going to ignore the young man, the small boy. Um,
Ah, Rook
and
End
let
game. I've
yeah.
been having
So
sleepless nights about Rook End games.
Queen E5 was played. Captures the pawn. So okay, Abraman is going to be trying to win this end game. But let me see. So in the current position, I was wondering if you play a move like pawn to h5, for instance, and pawns are exchanged, I was wondering if this rook end game is a draw with the pawn with
Wait,
just an
I'm
extra
coming.
h pawn.
Oh, my question is, where is the king going? Where is the black king going?
Yeah, I think he was confused for a bit, but I don't think you should be going there. I think you should.
Oh my goodness.
So if it's going there, then
Yeah, okay, so the rook stays here, tries to cut off this king, and this king stays on g8. So what's white's idea? How do you
um,
make
at
progress here for
just if I'm looking at it here, just roughly, I would say it's a draw because first of all, the rook on a4 is doing a good job cutting white's king away, and you can't easily pass through the h file to bring your king in because of g5. Um,
yeah?
uh, oh, okay, but after the king gets to b3 to attack the rook, where exactly will black put this rook?
No, I
Okay, but
don't see.
it can come down.
No, I actually
If it
think
comes down,
white.
then
I
black
think
king
white is
can go to
winning.
c4. Yes, white should be winning now. White should be
White
winning.
is
White should be
winning. The king is going to clear, as in, I mean, happily move towards all these
get
places.
to
Okay.
b3,
Okay.
get
My
to
first question: if
c4.
what happens here? What's the point here?
The point here, Rook
Oh, no,
A7.
no, no, not
Rook
here.
H7. Rook H7 immediately. Is that not possible? Rook
No, no, no,
H7.
no, not here.
That means
No, it doesn't
that
work.
means the
The
king
pawn
has
is the
gone too
pawn move
far. Or
though.
what? Okay. What happens here?
The pawn push.
Oh, then pawn push.
Pawn
The
push
pawn push,
to
then rook to
A7.
d7.
Then rook to
Rook to
B7.
Okay, but king
b7.
here.
You are
To
lost already.
b7.
It's lost.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow. So that means this king moving. It wasn't clear what this king was going to.
Hmm.
Yes.
It wasn't clear where that king was going to. Sorry, my network had to reload. Yeah. So here, maybe just keep your king on these two squares.
I don't think that still works. Even if your king stays at the back there, I'm not sure.
Yeah, but that means you won't be able to get the rook to, or would you?
Hmm. Yeah, pawn push again.
For instance, if this king just stays here, how do you get this rook out of here?
And you start your
Well, it's still the same idea
building
of
up.
still pushing that pawn. Remember?
Now you
Then
start
you move your.
building.
Okay,
You will
let's
now
see. So,
move. You will move the king closer. You will move this king to that king. Yes, it will move closer to that rook at the end of the day. Before that's when the king will not be
but
the one
wait,
jumping up. The king will be able to move to
No, no.
C4, take the pawn on
But
C5, and all like
before
that.
here, before the king move to f3, why
don't you
not
take
just
this
push
pawn
it to
here?
a6? No, no, no. Play king a6. Pawn to a6 first before the king goes to
No, no.
f3.
Yeah, but I meant okay.
Move back.
I'll do that, but I'm asking about this current position.
If you
This
take the pawn,
position before.
if you take the pawn,
Oh,
why not
there
just
is
play
What
G?
happened?
c4.
I'll play G4 immediately.
c4.
Yeah, but the point
I'll
was
play
that
G4.
rook
Yes.
can
Now
come
my
here.
king goes. My
King
king
can.
now starts stepping in. My king goes to F4. King goes to G5. The pawn on G6 is
f4,
gone.
g5.
I'm threatening rook back.
Oh, the pawn
Rook
on
mate.
G6. Okay. That's
Yeah.
that's 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 good. Good.
I'm play fly.
That's
I'm
good
play
enough.
fly. Thank you.
Yeah. So Tolu, you were saying after King F3, before King F3, what?
Excuse me.
a6. a6 was the idea.
Okay, but it seems like
Yes.
Chief Wales' idea of King F3 is also good.
Oh, yes. Because after this, if you play king f3, if the rook captures the pawn, then you just have the rook to b7, and that wins also.
Yeah. So it seems this one Abdurrahman should win. The second chance he got. Um, Torishe. Okay, so he doesn't want to give up the C file. But okay, even after all this, how are you going to make progress? It's not so easy. What are you going to do? Bishop here, and then play for E4. Or bishop here, bishop here. I feel he's going to maneuver the bishop. But is it to B3 or to A4? I'm not sure. Or one day, is it possible to? No, not yet.
Yes.
Not yet. Okay, so at least white has plans that you can try to test black with. He has idea of one day breaking
White
with
has,
one to what? I didn't get that too.
oh, yes. White has a lot of moves, like all these little improvement moves to play. But I think
Yeah.
white careful of the a5 break. So
Yeah. It seems there's another result. Okay, in that game where someone had an extra piece.
Yeah, of
Okay,
course.
so black.
Which black one there. That is WIM Nasir Lima. I think it was. Wow, that was the meeting
and
one. That's the meeting one. No, no, no. Is
Yeah.
that?
do you understand why she didn't go for the perpetual now? Just like I said, if I was
Is that?
playing against you, I would have taken it.
What? You have about to say something, Chief Wills?
I was trying to. Yeah, it's a meeting one, right?
Yeah, it's meeting one. Up to E2.
Yeah, that's it. GG's.
Okay, so this person is really down on time. Is the time control 40 moves? You get 30 extra minutes.
Yes, exactly. 90 minutes for the first 40 moves and 30 minutes to continue. Now imagine 40 moves and 30 minutes to continue. But now, how many moves
Yeah,
have they
because
gotten
it
so far so good?
seems this is move 26, but it seems Black
Ah,
has lost control.
Black is
Black
having
has
1 minute.
lost control, but I don't think that's his biggest problem. Is a pawn down.
I think.
Okay, he played the move Bishop E5. I don't think that was necessary. That wasn't necessary at all. Unnecessary loss of a pawn.
Crucial center point.
Yeah. So, and White has the better bishop.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah. So, the Azumi game has been corrected. Shows Azumi
Aha.
1 versus Wafa 0. So
It's in a
that would be,
WGM.
yeah, that's, and I think she is the second highest rated player in this event, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
So that's
Yes.
like a huge upsets and a big confidence boost for Azumi, who would be really, really happy. But not just turned around the rating difference, but also with the kind of positions she got from the opening, we would really be happy to, yeah. And congrats to her. It's one of 9 rounds, so still a lot to play for and everything on the line. All right, it's good. It's good.
There is an update. The player playing against Abdurrahman at the moment, WFM Sana or Prakash, learns she's under 18 and she played and won
Okay.
against Deborah Quickpen in December 2024 at the African Girls Chess Championship in Egypt. She also represented
Oh,
Uganda at the
okay.
45th Chess Olympiads at Budapest 2024. She featured at the 2024 African Amateurs Individual Chess Championship under 2,300 in the opens category. So she's African Youth Chess. Oh, she also represented at the African Youth Chess Championship under 18 in South Africa, and she came second at the 2024 Ghana National Chess Championship. That girl has been very
Okay.
active for the past last 1.5 years. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a great profile you are reading out. Okay, so
yeah.
how do we win this again as Black?
As black or as white.
As white, I meant.
As-
Okay, so are
How
we
did we
getting the
get
king
here?
closer? Okay,
Ah,
so he didn't get capture the after king e3, she didn't capture the pawn. She
but
quickly played a
is
king.
b4 is the g4 not too slow? G, like
Well,
g4
you can't capture the
doesn't
pawn,
slow
so
necessary.
I
And like
yeah,
why not
but
just use
if you
that
can't
extra move to play king d3 instead of playing
yeah,
g4?
but if you can't capture the pawn, then why hurry? There's no. It seems like your plan is still to play king here, and and white is still better. So white is still winning, I believe.
Okay.
King
Okay,
c5,
white has
king
enough
here.
time to play rook c7 in the future.
Yeah, and then the pawn can just push. Yeah, so I don't see why. I'm not even sure what moves black wants to play. No matter what he does, is if he just keeps on moving the. Okay, h5 is played, but I don't know if was it necessary. For example, king h8, and you play king c5. On c3, you play king b5.
Yes.
On
Wait,
c2, play
can you
rook
take it
here.
back?
Rook.
Can you take it back? I can see something interesting. After the after pawn push, c3. If the king goes to b5, rook to c4. Is it a trick?
How does that
That's a
work?
nasty trick. That's a nasty trick. That's a very, very nasty trick.
But wait, it's a nasty trick, right? Okay, let me see. He has two moves.
Uh,
It's a nasty trick. You just say it's a nasty trick. We are trying to sort how nasty the trick is going to be. So quietly, white plays rook b7. Oh, okay. Oh, nice. See why. It can easily stop it. Pump push. You just have to. No, after the pump push, the only move you can do is just pump push. No, you can't take, can you? After just play
oh,
it.
okay,
Can't
pawn
take.
push.
Then I'll play rook down.
Rook down, of course. Rook
Well,
down.
there's
Rook,
also
no, you play rook to c8. Rook to
You
c8.
have to play
why
rook to
can't you
c8 now.
why can't you queen?
You want to queen. Okay, you queen. Let's see
Why
you
can't
queen.
you queen?
Queen.
Oh, okay, wait,
Okay,
there
there
is
is
queen,
queen.
then there's
There's queen d4.
There's queen. There's queen here. Check. Then you
Oh,
bring your
there's no
queen
queen
back.
d4.
Then you queen your rook. You bring your rook back. And I think it's also good for you. No, rook check. Then rook back. Then now queen check. There's queen check. I think it's also good. This is actually good. Queen b, queen b2 check. Then you take the queen at the back. I mean, you take the rook for free. I think this is that would be terrible.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
That would be terrible. So
Okay,
what
but you
other
were
way?
also mentioning this.
Yes, that also works. It's almost the same thing. It's the same
this
thing
one.
actually.
This
Yes.
It's the same thing.
Okay.
We end up the
So
same way.
I mean, this is why we need to always be checking out what our opponent's ideas are. So okay, rook here, maybe the only play you can do, but
Yes,
that's
maybe, but that's still
does that
is it
lead to
not
a
losing? That
I don't know.
gets to a draw. I think you get a draw. Is that would that be easy?
it's a draw.
Check.
It's a
You
No,
draw.
I
only get
don't
a
think
draw
it's
out
is
of
it a
Look,
this.
draw?
look to a1. You move your
It's a
king
draw. It's a draw.
into
It's a
g7.
draw.
It's a draw.
How do you draw this?
King leaves. King goes up. Now you check to Jesus comes. Oh, you
Oh
wanted to
no,
queen?
no, no, you
Yes,
don't
queen.
even need
Now
to
why
play
not
that.
queen? Queen now.
No, you don't need to play this. You don't need to play queen king to f6. You
Now
just
he's
start the
losing
rook
now.
check. You just start it.
White is white. White should be winning.
No, like instead of king to f6, you just start it. Immediately the king gets to b7, you start the rook check. So after king f6, king
Yeah,
to
yeah,
b7, then
but
you start
what
a check.
my
You don't
point is that after this, like is it not still a draw or is it not?
it's still a draw. It's
It's
still a
still a
draw. It's
draw.
still
Yeah,
a
still
draw.
a
Yes.
draw.
Yes. Okay, so avoid rook to c4 anyway. So after maybe that was why
So the king can't go to c4. The king has to go
is
f1.
making a waiting.
Question: what will it take with?
Okay,
If
so
now the king goes back. Check.
all right, and now this is
Oh,
trivial.
king takes.
This is
King takes pawn.
this is
King takes pawn. This is easy now.
There is no mad rook here.
Madruk, how?
You just keep checking.
come
There's
on,
a that is that not a Madruk?
come on, come on.
Is that no mad rook?
That's why I didn't capture it.
Okay.
Okay.
No, was it?
Yeah, but what
No, no,
what
no, no,
was
no,
said?
no,
Okay,
no,
so for people looking at it,
no, no, no. Wait, let's look at the
after
Madruk
king
please.
can c4, to just keep
I
on
think he's going to
checking the
stop.
king.
I think there will be a stop. Just go towards the pawn. Go towards the A pawn. Yes, it's going to stop. There is no Madruk. It's going to stop. Just enter that place. Oh yeah,
Oh
come
no,
and
no.
mad anything. There is no mad rook.
No, not this way, not this way. You have to do it in
Uh-huh.
a way that if the king is going to b7, I
What
can
about
always
this?
have
Like
rook
this?
times
Now let's
a7
go.
check
Check and go closer.
Yeah,
at the side.
let's.
You see the same thing, go closer.
I'll check, yes. So this way I can always capture the pawn. Exactly.
Oh no no no. So you won't go closer towards that side. No. You start moving towards the other rook. I mean, after taking the pawn, try moving towards the other rook. Maybe. Yes. Uh-huh. Go on. Probably end up losing that one. No. You end up losing the a pawn.
There's no. Yeah, the rook.
You
The
end up
rook
losing the a
just
pawn.
keeps on checking.
Yeah. And if
You
you
end
lose
up
the
losing
a
the a
pawn,
pawn.
this
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the
So,
mad rook. But you're checking from the side and not from. I
not
think that
from the
was the
back.
yes,
Yeah.
mistake
so
That
that
was
I
the
made.
error.
always,
Yeah.
Yeah.
always make
Wow.
sure you can capture the a7.
That's
So
a
a
but
lateral check.
so what happened in the game? I hope.
So of course Abdurrahman avoided that. He played the move King B2.
Uh-huh.
And
And
now
now,
it's
and now Rook B2 is coming. It's a wrap.
yeah, after this, if the king moves somewhere, I don't know where, then you
Rook
just play
B2.
rook here
Rook
and
B2.
then
Just Rook B2. Man.
okay, sorry,
I
rook
mean
what?
B7, sorry. Rook B7, sorry. Rook B7.
Okay, rook b7, yeah, and
It's
then
a wrap.
check and then
It's a wrap.
promote.
It's a wrap.
Here, check and then promote.
Full
Also
wrap.
here, check and then promote. Right. So it seems like there will soon be a result on this board too. So probably the most interesting game would be the one between Tennyson. What?
We've
You want
gotten
to
here.
force an exchange?
I was thinking
Can
it was
we
going to
play
play
out the
that
rook?
position forever. I was thinking it
So
was
let's
going to
go.
play that position forever and just try to but he just captured on e7 without even
Not double up first. Do just little improvements.
yeah, I mean it felt like he could tease black forever and try to play for different plans that we pointed out. Rook, you can try to double up, you can try to play for bishop d1 to b3
Yes, he
or to
can easily
a4.
make
You
those
can
moves.
yeah, and all these moves you can be making and your opponents will be burning time trying to figure out what you are trying to achieve. But here you just went for the direct bishop captures on e7.
But you know,
Or maybe he
before
thought that this maybe
before
he
you go
thought this
forward,
was going to give him something on the queen side. Yeah.
before you go forward, I was going to ask because I think Tolu Ohanimi is a little bit closer or very well close to Tennyson. I'm going to ask because
Yeah.
you were saying that you couldn't wait. You know, you thought he was going to be teasing. What is his favorite kind
Yeah.
of song? Do you know his favorite kind of music? The kind of music he listens to? Give us inside scoop now. Is it rap,
Oh
Tolu?
no, no, no. Well,
What
not really rough, not really like just
Well,
normal pop.
he
like
likes.
what?
I know. I
Possibly
think his
like that,
favorite
like that.
musician is Rema.
That Nigerian music kind of idea.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think he
Okay.
likes Rema a lot.
Because if he listens to if you have listened to Kate Sweat at one point or the other, okay, I'm sure you will be able to understand that role that you're talking about of the teasing. You know,
Wait, can you capture here? After pawn times, what's happening?
Bishop e8.
Bishop
Bishop
E8,
e8
of
must
Yeah,
course,
but
play.
then
Bishop E8.
d5. Okay, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work because the bishop is on E8.
It
The
doesn't work.
bishop is on E8. That doesn't. So
No,
before
no.
it will
Yeah,
work,
I wanted to sacrifice everything and create a pass for
it
my
doesn't work.
bishop
Well,
controls the
the
square.
bishop will
Yeah.
go back. The bishop will just go back to capture the pawn. Yeah, so the idea. So it doesn't work. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, of course the pawn should capture. If the bishop captures,
But
then
oh, hold on a second. No, go back a
but
little
the
bit.
reason
Am I
why it
seeing
doesn't work is that after pawn captures and the pawn goes to c6, the bishop captures,
bishop will
not the
still
pawn.
capture? Yeah, and
So
okay, the
that's
bishop will
why.
still capture. Yeah, the bishop will capture. That's it. That's the easiest way. So, like I said, if he listens to Keith Sweat, maybe he won't have this. We won't be in this position we are in right now.
Won't be, yeah.
Mhm. Oh wait. Have you listened to any of
Oh,
Kick's first
I
song?
think it was scared of the E5 break
Yeah,
earlier.
but what was it? What was in the
Maybe
E5
it
break?
was
Yeah, but what was it?
overestimating the E5.
What was in the E5 break? I mean, the E5, your opponent breaks on E5 and you just don't do anything. You just watch. And in fact, it's his pawn on D5 that looks weak.
Actually,
So it's not really clear what's in the E5 break. Okay, but in the live position, so Bishop E8 has been played. So is there anything any of them can try?
Um, this game looks.
Because the only time you can do something is right now. If not, then the king just comes to, and there's nothing here anymore.
It won't be. It
So
won't even be easy for the king to even go into.
before the king go in, if black needs to play E5 first. Just control the center and then start your king movement.
yeah, but I mean, yeah, I feel, but all moves are.
Are
You don't
drawn.
get it from.
And
Yes,
I'm so
yes.
sure. I'm so sure Teresa will be very comfortable with the draw. She won't mind. At
So
least saying
here, I
that.
think there's a
Saying
result. There's a result already in this game.
yeah.
After then Rook was played, and then
Like
the
I said,
threat of
yeah,
check,
and promoting to a
the
point.
threat of check and promoting into a queen was enough to force resignation. So we have 3 results on 5 boards, and there is this game going on, the Rook end game, white. But I'm surprised at this. I thought you should keep your bishops on the board for
But
extra chances,
can
but
you,
maybe
sorry,
this is
sorry,
good enough.
hold on a second. Can you please go back to that hand and live position?
Okay.
That's exactly what I was about to say. That there's a rook check, and you take the rook, and you walk on the pawn that you have three
Yeah,
pawns.
just
There's 2 pawns on the queen side, and you use to win the position.
This is
This was
now a
exactly what I
very
wanted to
easy
say.
win.
Yeah, it should be easier now. Sorry, I just spotted it. I'm like,
Yes.
oh my god, rook check, and just puzzle rush there. Sorry. So you can go back to what you were
Yeah.
saying.
So
Sorry.
no. I mean, opponent has already resigned, so we have
Oh,
a result of 4 boards.
immediately.
gee.
That's
Yeah,
so
I
much
mean,
respect.
You could have tried to play. That's too much
well,
respect. You could have tried to play a little bit because it's not until you never can tell you can still get it. Well, no. I understand why you have to resign immediately because look at the white king. It's closer to the black pawns.
it's game over actually.
Tolu, do you get what I'm saying? The white king is closer, so
Yeah,
you don't
bro.
need to. It's not about respecting right now. It's about it's a walk in the park right now. It's just a walk in the park. There's nothing black on it. Absolutely nothing. We just be looking like and white will be doing the moving around, munching the pawns. Because by the time he even tries to start munching to the pawns, white has already promoted.
Okay, so this is
Oops.
the last game. Most likely would
It's going to be a draw,
draw
except a miracle happens.
e4. What do you do?
If for gladly pawn takes
Because
pawn.
you have to play
Oh
before
wait.
before
Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
give yourself your passport.
E4. Why? Yes, D5. I mean, sorry, D4. Sorry, just D4. Let me give myself a passport.
Give yourself a passport. And you
e5?
can play that.
I'll gladly take. I'll
No,
gladly take. I'll take. What's the problem with taking? I'm trying to understand all these ideas. Then bishop to B5. It's not as if you're coming to
e5?
matchmaker.
This is
Yes, now why not?
No, I don't think you
After,
can. No, no, this is
oh,
winning now. That was
this
what
is
we're talking
winning.
about.
Sorry, apologies,
bishop
apologies.
bishop to six.
That's over. Bishop C. Wait, what? Yeah, Bishop C6.
I'm just I'm just trying to have fun here.
I'll go king to
Bishop
f7.
C6. Yeah, takes,
King is
takes.
ready to meet the c pawn whenever the pawn push happens.
You have to take
Okay, you can
first.
just take with
I'll take
yeah, you
yes, I'll
can
take with the
take with
C
this
pawn
pawn,
so that the
and the
king is
king is in
closer.
the time.
Yeah,
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
so that
we're
will
just
go.
looking for some fun ways to lose.
And another thing is, even if it's actually not compulsory for black to even capture that pawn in the first place, then after the pawn
Yeah, yeah,
e5,
yeah, yeah.
it's not compulsory.
Yeah, of course, of
The
course.
king can just easily just slide to f7 or just start moving out. And it's even a good news for white to even play that pawn forward for black because he's going to be happy to walk through those light squares and start mopping those black pawns from the back. I mean, so those
Yeah,
white
it's
pawns
not.
from the back. Sorry.
Yeah, there's nothing. Okay, so I mean, we expect some kind of draw.
Yeah. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Super Zonals 2025. The winner will qualify to go for the World Cup in the male section. And in fact, one male, one female, because this is an open event right now. It's only one male that will qualify, and one female will also qualify. So the owners, and I think we should give a big kudos to the chief arbiter and the deputy chief arbiter for making sure that the pairings are such that no team, um, um, no team, I mean, no player of the same country that are actually meeting at wait, isn't that Bishop system? They are not meeting themselves at the final rounds, at the final maybe 2 or 3 rounds, and that's a wonderful one. Um,
Okay, Tolu, what do you think? I wanted to check out your idea of bishop to f3.
Okay, the bishop to f3 earlier. After
Yeah, but
bishop to
bishop to
f,
f3, bishop captures f5.
Rook takes.
and I capture the.
Okay, bishop to d7.
No, if there's just bishop to d5, how exactly do you want to defend the bishop?
Yeah, that's another one.
Bishop to
Bishop d5
d5.
straight up.
That's game ending. Or is it? Yeah, it's game ending actually. I'm just being dramatic.
There's rook takes bishop, queen takes, and bishop takes rook. Yeah, that's
Yeah, yeah. It's
On
what did you say?
issue, I said one piece.
And even wait, what about rook b8? Let's see all the options. Rook b8, what do you want to do?
Rook
rook
b8 here.
b8. Rook b8. Hmm.
Okay, rook b8. I play my bishop to d5.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
And then what will you do if I play my rook to h3?
Yeah, definitely was looking at this.
On takes doesn't work because of my.
No, oh, wait. Are you saying why didn't you consider g5 after the rook went to h3? Is there any reason why you're not considering g5?
5.
I'm just curious why you didn't consider it.
Oh, it's not like
G5,
it's not.
rook
It doesn't.
going to d1.
Yeah, point to d1. I was looking at point to d1. Yes, point to d1. Queen takes
You can
pawn on
capture it.
d6.
If you capture it, it should be like an immediate rook captures h7, queen check on g6, rook to
That's a
f3
mate.
kind of
That's
stuff.
a mate, though. Okay, so we have to wait a little bit. We can't still take that point yet.
I still I can still capture. I can still capture the pawn. No, I can still capture the pawn immediately. Oh, rook captures h7 instead.
No, it doesn't work anymore if you do that now. If you do rook
It's
h7, it does not work
Why
anymore. How does it work?
why can't you just go to? Why can't you just go to
No,
because
h5?
of
How
the
does
let's
it?
because
let's
of the
prove it.
because of
Let's There's queen h6. Remember? Oh, you will take the
Okay,
rook.
okay.
But you just take rook.
But what are you going to do about this?
And now, this is a good question. And there is nothing you can do
This
about it.
black black needs to play bishop times f5 here.
Bishop times f5, yes, just sacrifice the bishop for the good cause. And now rook takes bishop, and now rook f
Trying to
whatever. Doesn't work. Doesn't affect the path of carrying.
so this down.
Yeah, but
And
okay,
there's
this
rook
one
times
piece up.
f6. Oh,
Yeah,
is there
this
no
one
rook
piece
times
up.
f6? Oh no, rook
Yeah,
times
well,
f6.
I don't know if it's necessary, but piece up. I think
It's not necessary.
this is good.
But what the rook f6 is good now. What happens to rook f6?
Yeah, but
Looking at
yes,
queen
it's
e,
probably
rook e1 check.
Rook one king attacks the rook. So what?
Capture the rook with a check. I capture
Uh-huh.
the rook
So
with a check.
cannot the rook then you take the rook back. You're still a piece of the rook.
yeah. That's why I didn't want to
Yes,
take it. I felt like it was
No,
unnecessary
there is no
calculation. Like
but there's no problem there.
yes, but it seems like unnecessary calculation for you when you're a piece up and you have an extra pawn. Like, why are you capturing the rook? There are so many ways to just win it without calculating anymore. So it felt unnecessary. That's why I was confused why we
I
were
understand. I
on
understand.
on, on the subject.
I get your point.
Just yeah, okay. So the last game, Torisha, okay, nothing has happened. Okay, e4 was played, 6-6, and yeah, the king just comes closer. And then after even pawn to e5, it's not even clear. But is he trying to get into a pawn end game? Not even pawn end games. A pawn end game's good. I can see a future where king is trying to work on the like, but that doesn't even still work.
Because
I'm not sure
if the
what.
rook
What did you say?
oh, because like if there is a situation whereby the two bishops are gone in this position, then quite quite
Yeah,
be
but
a bit um doesn't work yet.
okay. He played b5.
He played b5.
What?
Okay, but what happens after pawn times b5?
He probably missed it too. He probably thought he has it.
I think
No, it can't be that he thought he has it.
He
Okay,
probably
maybe
missed
his
like
idea
this.
is simple. Okay, I think no. First of all, he's not like he's lost or anything like that. I think.
okay, what of e5? E5 no e5 first. What of e5? It's e5.
Okay, but what's the idea of e5?
The idea of
E5
e5 is
bishop to f
What's the idea?
bishop to
bishop
f3.
to f to f3 bishop to f3.
Bishop to f3. And bishop to f3, like I said, it still does not affect the price of Gary in the market. Just you start. Is it not the time to
It
start
affects it
b4,
affects the
b3?
price.
Are you not having b4, b3 immediately?
Yeah, I'm looking at
If you
that,
play,
but
I
it's not in
capture the
time.
pawn. I can go to e4.
Okay, so this is what
You think? Yeah.
so this is the
H.
problem.
Yes. No. Wait.
What do you want to do?
Before you move. No, don't move.
I've not
Bishop
moved.
You want to play
is bishop g6.
if you
Not
play
bishop.
any move, if you play any move that is not that, I'll push the pawn.
But you don't have a check after pushing the pawn, right? Even if you queen, you don't have a check. Bishop g6.
No. Okay, this is better. After bishop g6, instead of playing the a pawn, I'll play the c pawn.
C
I'll
pawn.
play the c pawn.
Nobody
Yes.
king comes in.
If your king
Who
go
the
back, then I promote with a check. Then I play a6. I'm promoting with a check now.
e6?
Yeah, now you waste a move. I push my pawn.
Okay.
Okay,
So okay,
c6.
let's just look at that line to the end.
On push, I promote with a queen.
Now I get. Now you stop the and you are able. Are
Okay.
you able to stop?
Eh,
Wait,
Okay,
wait, wait,
but
hold on.
after
Even
pawn to
Sharp.
promote. Wait, no,
c6,
no, 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 no. Don't stop. Go, stay. Just stay there. Then after the king goes to G, what is it called? Does he have any check? Are you not
I have
promoting?
queen a3,
But he will
queen
promote the
a3 picks
second
the
point.
pawn.
He will promote the second. He will promote to the
Queen
second point.
a3, queen a3, queen a3 picks the pawn.
Oh, Queen A3 picks the pawn. Yeah. Oh, that's crazy.
okay, so
So
instead of king e7, we want to push the pawn.
yes, push the pawn. Okay,
But then there is pawn to c7.
okay. Then there is pawn there. Then there is queen there. Then there is queen there. White is winning. He's gonna have 2 points. There is no
White should
stress.
be winning.
White is winning. Two queens are looming. Two queens looming.
Oh, two queens looming.
Yeah, two queens looming.
I think, how are two queens looming? I don't see how two queens are looming. All I see is,
All you see is mate.
I mean, you can play for mate, maybe. Let me even go back one move. Okay, this has become suddenly very sharp.
It's sharp, but with no risk for white.
No risk for white. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said that pawn. In fact, does white
That
even have
extra pawn.
the after that queen check? That your queen check. I still love the queen check for one reason or the other. The queen check from C. What about
Yeah,
the
but
queen
the
check from
problem is that
C7? From C7 instead
yeah,
of on
but
the
the problem is that
diagonal
the
The
from
queen
king
check,
C7.
looks like is
the queen
king
on
is
c5
escaping.
controls more square.
Then
Yeah, but the
So
king is still escaping.
the king is escaping. I'm trying to see where you have your forms of checks. Yeah, I'm trying to see how you can do your check that makes more sense. I'm seeing A6, A7, A8. I'm trying to see how I can achieve that without too much issues, without you having the perpetual check.
I mean, that's the point. There will always be some sort of
No,
always be
that
some
one.
sort of
Bishop will just go back to what's it called? Bishop will just go back um
can we take the position
to
back to
F3.
the b to confirm if that this plan actually works for white?
Okay,
where to
B3.
b3.
Okay, good. Uh-huh.
To oh no, not yet, to the b5 points, the points where Tennyson played b5, to see whether all these plans actually work
Okay.
or there is something that back to the
Is this a live position? Why am I clicking on live and this is what it's showing?
this is the live.
Are you serious?
Let me refresh the page because
This is actually going to be a very very kind of it's going to be strange if this is indeed the live page. This is the
How did
live.
we get
so let's
here?
see how we got here.
How did?
So after pawn is pawn push,
Mm-hmm.
just blow the pawn.
Oh,
Okay, so this is the live.
are you kidding?
Okay,
Is
but
that not Bishop?
it looks like black is better.
He's
I
looking like
think
it,
so
yes,
too.
so because
Those
now the
two
Bishop.
pawns now.
Oh wait,
Uh,
you can't get there.
can't,
No, that actually correct?
I think something like
No,
Trying to
it's
give him
Bishop,
something
two
like
pawns
f5.
over.
Bishop takes, King push,
Why not take the
King
pawn?
plus check takes.
Oh,
Why you have to take the
oh,
pawn? Why
instead of
not even
taking the
do?
pawn, why not
What happens to Bishop C6?
bishop c6, just bishop c6 immediately.
Bishop C6.
And this might be losing.
Bishop C6. If this happens, then this should be GG's.
It's really.
Okay, but you can't. If you are worried, yeah, I was about to say, can't you just withdraw the bishop? and just
I don't think you can just withdraw the bishop because of bishop c6 again.
Bishop c6 again. Even if
but
we draw the bishop
you're
c6,
not going
yeah.
to capture. You're not going to capture. You're just going to
Then what do you do?
try to do something
The issue
about the
now
king.
is
Now the issue is king. Wait, does it work?
I will capture. I will capture the pawn. No, no, no. You capture the bishop. You capture the bishop instead. Take it back.
Huh?
Just capture
After the
the
bishop.
uh,
Okay.
this is three against. You can play. Okay, I think we can say black is no. The king needs to go to b7. It's on b7. So none of those two
Okay.
pawn moves. And now you can always divert the king with b4 and also create a pawn, another extra pawn on the king side.
Wait, this is move by
Actually,
move.
wait. Actually, your G7. I think your G7 move was probably maybe the pawn on F. I mean, the king on F7 is still stopping the 2 points, whether I like it or not. So I don't think that even that king
The
to
king,
G
the king,
to D7 is
oh
necessary.
no, oh there are some cases whereby they can play a6 and
If he
the
plays
a6 move and start pushing the 2 pawns forward.
A6,
Okay, like maybe the
Okay, what do you do?
okay then you play f5.
F5,
Okay, you play g5.
G5, H5,
Oh no, g4.
G4 not. Okay, G4, then
Then you
F4.
play f f4.
Yeah, it's still the same thing. No, it will still come and munch that F4 pawn. No, that F pawn. It's in time to munch that F pawn. No, no. Why did you want to take it? Why do you want to go back?
Because the two rooks, it's a rule now. The two pawns are too far apart for the king to stop both of them, and this king easily stops this one. So this is what I'm trying to say. Takes. What
No,
do
no,
you
no,
mean?
not
What do you want
takes,
to do?
not takes. F4,
No,
F4.
you
No,
will
no,
take
no,
the
I'm
pawn
F4
sorry,
now.
instead of
F4.
takes.
Uh-huh.
No, F4, F4, F4,
Okay.
F4. Okay, so this king cannot stop the two pawns,
Now I get
while
it.
this king
The
can stop the two pawns.
yeah, two weaknesses. Yeah. Oh boy, this is suddenly this end game is.
Okay, what's happening live?
What is the game over? I'm saying. Okay. Oh, okay. I think the first Sintoko International Junior Under 20 Chess Championship is also going on at the moment. At wow, what is this? And they're playing 60 minutes plus 30 seconds at a time from move one. Yeah, Sintoko tournament is going on, and the favorites have been doing well. Siwashi Collins, Danjuma Nathaniel, Osadibi Michael, Uriah Patrick, Omori Sandra, Okusa Joshua Ifeanyi, Williams, Deborah Quickpen is also playing in that event. Wow. Do you know? It's interesting. Deborah Quickpen will play. That's like one, two, three events back to back to back to back. That's interesting. Because
What do
he
we
also
think
playing in
about
that.
this one?
Okay, let's go back to the game. Okay, Bishop. Okay, we said this and pawn push. Black should play b5. I mean b4. What's your one point now?
But what about pawn push takes? Yeah?
Yeah, pawn push bishop takes bishop. It doesn't work. You
Okay,
take it and still
so
come back.
So you have to move with your king.
Yeah. Can you come push one more time? Does it make any sense?
Blue, any help?
We should play pawn push on.
I'm thinking
Um,
if you play
I don't
B3,
understand.
B3 does not work, right?
Oh, for black,
Yeah, B3 does not work.
instead of b3, why not pawn captures pawn? As f captures e5,
Okay,
then you
so you
can
have
just start
another
with your
passport from
b3,
there. So you have another passport
another
from that
pass
side.
pawn
Okay, that looks interesting.
here. And a7 can't work bishop because of bishop captures bishop, king to b7. This is really
It
shocking.
seems king d3. Maybe there is even pawn to
Oh, pawn
e4.
push.
Yes, then bishop
Yes.
takes here.
And pawn push. b6, b3, b3. Just b3.
e3 or e5.
What should do it? I like b3 because it forces the king back immediately instead of him giving him chance to use his king to protect us.
But
Ah!
when they, are you to stop it now?
How can the
What
king
has
stop
happened? Why
both?
did this?
The king just stopped the both.
It will stop both pawns. They're not that far apart.
No, but that's why I said e5.
Oh, e5 actually. Ah,
That was why I said e5, yeah.
But even at E5, doesn't it still look this a little bit the same?
no, it's different now since the 2 pawns can get on the
No, but
same
there is a rule that if the if the square of the pawns gets to there's a rule in all these foreign games that if these 2 pawns the square extends to this thing that it's a win or is it a draw? I don't even know. Unbelievable. I've forgotten all the rules of the pawn end game.
Of
I think
course, of
it's two
course.
pawns now, so because of those pawn push check and the other pawn can start moving.
Okay, so moves have been made. What? Bishop after bishop c6, king e3, bishop b7. And he's played king d4. Now his king is much
That king is
closer
still
than
damaging.
that king is what?
The king has matched pretty well.
But somehow it still seems like black is the one who can be better. Somehow, I don't know. Or is it? It's not really clear anymore. The king has become too active.
Yes.
Oh,
And
The
both
exactly.
king
of
defends.
and both of them, interestingly, are on last
Seconds.
seconds. 37. Takes one blunder from any one of them right now, and the position becomes unplayable.
Okay,
Pawn,
pawn to
pawn pass to
c6.
decide what happened.
What do you do after pawn to c6? I mean, it's
Why do you
still
have
a
to play
draw. Is
pawn?
it still a win?
I think
But hold on, why do you have to play pawn c6? What happens to just king back to f3, king to
if
c3?
pawn, yeah, I prefer king to c3 because if pawn to c6, black can try pawn to b4.
Just king c3, and we play because I
Now
can
it's starting to look as if white is winning, or what?
no, to me it feels there's no entry. It looks so drawish.
No, but
No, I
what
need
are you going to do after king b4?
We can I will just be moving the bishop up and down.
No, but I'll take the pawn. That's what I'm saying.
Which
can't take
pawn?
the pawn.
You can't take any pawn. Even if you take the pawn, to what ends?
You need
Like
the
to be
bishop and
zogged.
the king to capture the pawn.
See,
Yeah, that's what
it's
I'm saying.
Are
Like
you
it will
sure
be.
the king can't always come to C6? The king can always come to
Yes, but
C6 to
then
pawn.
then you waste a move. That's what I'm saying. Is it possible to zog the black
You're,
pieces?
but you're not
Then
even taking the pawn now. Why are you looking for the pawn to take? White is just playing for a draw.
Wait,
White can't
why
play.
can't
White is trying to play for a win now.
Ah, but how? That's the point. I'm not seeing how because black is comfortable.
Okay, so let's make moves. Okay, but maybe we should just stick with the life position because they are so down on time, both of them.
What?
anything? What happened to
Okay. No, well, it's going to repeat, I think. Going to repeat once.
trying to get him?
And I was even wondering about pawn times f5 instead of king to c6. Pawn times f5, king times f5. Okay, we are going to stick with this. Yeah, okay, it's going to repeat once, like I said, and then
And
the king
that's
goes back to c7. Then the king
you
now
can't.
comes to b4.
Yes, you can't force a win. Well, they could
Okay,
repeat
but
to meet. They could repeat to meet the first time control because look at the 39th move you get.
okay.
So once they meet the first time control and they still then you can now take another extra 10 to 15 minutes to now think about the way forward. If there is indeed a way forward. But you shouldn't see any
Way
mirage
forward,
here
yeah.
because you shouldn't see any mirage or else. One slight error, black wins. Like I'm so confident, I can guarantee 100% that Torisha is comfortable with the draw. She's not even looking for anything serious anymore. Just you know what, let's just hold our position and let's stay there and let's watch. Let's watch you come and commit yourself. And I think that's an attribute that Tulu also has. When he sees the draw, he does not bother. Don't worry. Just let's
Let's
stay
just
here.
hope.
Let's do.
Okay,
Unless
but
I keep
see,
getting and I have no problem.
Aha.
I don't know why. One of the players that even when it's a draw, I still try to force is when I'm playing Lakutet. Even when it's completely drawn, I still try to get a win. Whether it puts me in trouble or not, I feel draw is not a decent result if I'm playing him.
you feel that
But
you must lose, right? Because I'm such a better player. You feel like you feel the urge to lose.
but
Oh my
I
I
goodness.
don't
think
think we
I
played
think
any game lesser than 70 moves.
Well, maybe. Well, our games are always long.
I think also Papa. I think when Papa is playing against any lower rated player, he tries as much as possible to win. And at
Get a
times
win.
Actually,
at times it backfires.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm like be objective. The fact that you're high rated does not mean just be objective with the position. Sometimes it works, sometimes it just. Even if you're going to push, make sure you're pushing to your own advantage. Like I said, they actually played it to that 40th. Oh, they're still repeating them. I thought after getting to the 40th move, they will can now, offer themselves the
The
handshake.
question
I
is
think
if is this pawn ever
anything
possible to take?
anything I've seen that there's no how we can capture the B5 pawn, and apart from the play on the king side, it might on the queen side, they
No, but
might
that's what
even
I'm
run
saying.
into.
Can't you capture the b5 pawn? Okay, let me make
I
moves for
don't know.
white. You make moves for black.
Okay.
Okay, make moves for black. Let's see.
Okay, it's Blast turn to play here.
Yeah,
Why can't I even just capture the pawn? On F times E5.
f times b5, king b4.
Okay.
Actually, sorry.
I play
I think
king
I should
to
include h4. I think I should include h4 before doing that.
if I play H4, I'll play G5 immediately.
Right then. Was it useful to play that? Okay, king d4.
I'll play king to D7.
e7.
D7, yes.
Okay, king here.
King to C7.
Pawn to g.
King to D7.
Bishop here.
King to C6.
So this was what I was trying to say. That is it possible to
Pawn
resolve?
to e4.
It's not possible to resolve.
Pawn to e4. Okay, if you are going there, I'll king back to a7.
Okay, sorry.
I'll play king to um my king is playing.
Isn't that a problem?
So this is what I
Because I'm
was
saying,
aiming for, but I don't know if it's a problem. I don't think it's a problem, but
I think that's
I
a
won't give
problem
you
more.
any
I
clue.
think is in trouble right now.
I don't know about that.
No, black is in trouble right now.
Yeah. So anyway, this is what I was trying to aim for,
Okay,
like a Zog
wait,
kind of.
what happens to e4? I'll give you a pawn. Since I can't
Now
choose
bishop
both
take,
normally.
of course, bishop takes it immediately.
You
No
can
time. Yes.
I'll play e5.
Then we'll go back there again.
Go back where?
You go back. You go back to where you're coming from. Is there a problem? Any problem with that? Is there? Do you have any problem with going back to where you're coming from? Still the plan of bishop e8. Isn't that the plan before?
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
king to a6.
King to e6. Uh, check.
Oh wait, sorry.
Why? Just bishop back to
King
bishop. No,
d4.
bishop to d3. Except you don't want to go there too soon.
Mm.
Oh wait, waiting move. No, waiting move. Bishop to e4. Waiting move. So that king does not have any
Let
square
me
to
go
enter.
something.
No, bishop to e4.
Okay, bishop
Bishop
here.
to
No, I'm
to
sorry.
f.
Bishop here.
Mm-hmm.
I go back to d7.
D7, then bishop to
Okay,
e4.
bishop check.
No, why are you checking again? You're just coming from there now.
Bishop king to c6. Oh no, I don't want to go king to c6. I don't want, no, take it back. King to c7.
I thought you were just
King
what you
to
know what I was trying to achieve was if the king instead of I was trying to achieve bishop also staying on d5.
Oh, but wait,
So
why can't sorry, just a question. After this, what do you want to do? King here, right?
now, not yet. Now you can't push that now.
no, you can't play pawn
Is it
push.
possible
I'll
to
go
push?
d6. King to
No, no.
d6. King to
Is it?
d6.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
So something like that, perhaps it's also possible. Anyway, I think so. But
That's what I'm trying.
this is within the realm of what I was trying to achieve. But at that point in time, the bishop instead of being where it is right now will be on d5.
But I don't like this bishop on a6.
Bishop on
No,
a6
of
is a
course, the
pawn.
bishop on a6 is
Yeah, because
it's
this looks like it's like some sort of zog.
yeah, it's a suk swang. That's the pronunciation.
Okay, let's see what Torisha played at her 40th move. What did she play? King c3. She
She
took on
captured.
e5. But was it also not worth checking out playing f5 so that you have your pawns healthy on this side of the board?
I think the issue there is too many pawns on light square. Doing that maneuver,
But
bishop can get to f7.
but somehow there is no entry square, easy entry square for the queen, and you always have something to worry about. But okay, so
What
back
of
to
what
live,
what of
and so where would you like to improve? I feel like maybe black with the passive bishop on a6 is the one that has to worry a bit. I think maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's enough counterplay because of the extra pawn that black has. but the game has suddenly become a bit spicy. Okay, where would you like to improve, Tolu?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
And also,
Where
is it not possible instead of the G5 move, is it not possible to try Bishop B7? Is it possible?
yeah, it's possible. Possible. And if that is the case, then maybe H4 should not be played, then King B4 immediately should be played.
Yeah, maybe. Yes, Bishop B7 gives the bishop a chance to like relocate.
Relocation
I
to
think you
America.
should
To
then
America.
I think you should take the time to quickly play some G5s. Just gaining some space, putting your pawns on dark squares, and asking white to show you the money.
Show me the money. Show me the money. Oh.
This is tricky. This is tricky. Like I need to, if I'm to find the answer to this, I need to like be fully concentrated, be looking at the board and be calculating. It's difficult to figure it out just
But
moving pieces around.
won't you be playing G5, G4 here as white? Would there be any harm playing G4?
Yeah, but then your bishop might not be able to do all those maneuvers that we're talking
All
about.
those man.
But we are on the diagonal, so exactly what is white going to do?
Yeah, it will just
I
wait
mean,
now.
black. What is black going to do? How? How is it going to win?
Yeah, just wait.
But the thing there is we don't need
Ah,
G4. We can even play G3 if we want to wait. We don't need to lock that diagonal and put our pawn on light square.
Yeah, it feels wrong to put the
What
pawn on
of
a
G
light square.
what of just G3 wait? Yes, G3 wait.
yeah, okay, G3, maybe. Yeah.
Oh, but wait, sorry, G4. What do you do? I don't like it because it's anti-positional, but G4, what do you do as black?
What is G4 stopping?
No, it's just giving you the move.
Yeah, the one with the
But
move,
G3
G4.
also G3 also
No, okay,
saves
with
the move.
G4. The point is with G4. I say, there is, what will you do? Leave the G3 alone. What will you do with the G4?
But I'm seeing a situation where it looks
I will
like
have to go to yes.
Yeah, bishop has to go
That
up a little
it
bit.
looks as if
like
Uh-huh.
King back to C7.
yeah,
Then going back here,
King to C6.
it's not possible to be solved. Yeah,
not yet. And bishop goes back. Yes. Give yes to G6.
yeah, maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine.
G6.
Maybe it is fine. I was getting
Too excited.
yeah, but maybe there's nothing. The problem is that anytime you try to achieve a zog by playing this and saying, okay, you have no king moves, you have no bishop moves, there's always pawn to e4.
Yes.
Yes. So you have to make,
That's
you have
that's
to
what
be on that diagonal.
yeah, that's what I couldn't achieve, having those two diagonals at the same time. Yeah,
Ah,
yeah. So this is okay. So Tennyson instead played the move bishop to a8. Wow.
oh.
What does this do?
But it still doesn't affect the. Like I said, this king is still going to be staying at C7. Black, black should
Yeah,
just
let's
maintain,
say
will maintain the king on C7 and D7.
yeah, let's say he plays g5.
Yeah, just maintain C7 and just maintain G7, C7 with the king. Once you can maintain that option, then there's no problem. Why will you move the
Hey,
king forward in the
Oh,
first place? The king was not supposed to move forward now.
no, but
that's
if the
true.
king
Yes, and this is
That's
what
the
you're going to.
simple there.
No, but still, there's still enough play.
That's that's fun.
But there should still be enough play now. But, okay, you make a waiting move, h5, something.
Yeah. So it's your turn to move away.
Yeah,
Go
so
away.
yeah, I don't
Can't
know.
you just play? Can't you just play bishop b7 immediately?
Yeah, I mean,
Is it not working? It's an
Takes.
outside pawn. Yes. So
But wait. Okay,
I'll take
yes,
those
correct. That's okay.
because my king is close to the pawn. And no, the king goes to maybe c4.
No, white is winning now.
it's
King
white
to
winning.
c4. So
Yes,
pawn.
white is winning. What
Yes.
C5? Why are you going? Why are you going like? Okay, because of the passport. Yes.
No, you have to go c4.
Yeah, C5. Yes, oh, C4. You're correct.
Can't
Yeah,
go to
C4.
c5.
Yeah, C4 is correct.
Mm.
I agree. C4. C4 D3 E4 takes passports. You
No,
can't
but
they
Yes.
can't stop them. It doesn't stop
wait.
anything. If you like, push those pawns from now to December. The king is going to C
I will
D3,
just
going to E4, taking those two pawns,
closer it
still coming for
comes
those
to
two pawns.
December.
I'm not going to capture. You won't force me to capture. I'll be the one capturing at the end of the day.
Yeah, but the problem is I wanted to
H4.
play h4, but the
It
problem
doesn't.
is that there is
King,
h.
don't even
I
play
won't
it.
even
I
play it.
won't
I'll
even play
take the
it.
king this
King D3 immediately. There is no need. There's no point. Yes, go forward. No problems. Anywhere you want to go, there's no problem. We'll meet you there.
I'll
It will be
everything.
king 2 pawns versus the king at the end in the end game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so sorry, things have happened. King c7, h4, h5, fixing the
See,
pawn on.
It's keeping insurance.
as an insurance man, yes, as an insurance big, no, that guy, to keep insurance. Okay,
I have no idea. My goodness.
let me keep this
h5,
here.
king
Uh,
e8, bishop c6.
Wait,
What's
did
that
that just
about?
happen?
Okay, yeah, that's the live position.
Isn't this bad already?
This looks. I mean, what she would try to do is she would try to keep the bishop on the board. After, if you try to take here, I think the idea is to play bishop
Oh,
b7, but that doesn't even work.
It doesn't work because
but
of
But I
C6
think
immediately.
no, yeah, I think this is gone now.
No, she just
okay.
dropped the. Is this fatigue? It gets to a position at times when you play and you be like, in your heart of hearts, everything is drawn. All of a sudden, you just make one move and you just realize that you're losing. C6
So still the
immediately,
idea of c6, yeah.
It's still the
immediately.
same idea.
C6, king C5 is GG. If you take, no problem. Just king takes your position. You go back there, then you come down there. You go and munch those 4 pawns for free. There is nothing. Ah, it's a classic case of Asho Bomoyemo. Yeah, Omoye is not a porn star. He has time to take. He has time to no, just be G7. And just move it. And for those that even think that there will be like maybe the king stopping the these kind of stalemate draw scenario, but the problem is there's still a
No.
waiting move. There is a waiting move there. No. Go back. Not that one. Go back. Let me show you. Go back. Go back. Back. Where this king was there. And folks might be thinking of king. No. I think was it Blackstone? I think it was Blackstone then. Yeah, it doesn't work. So I will frustrate his life from there. It's just easy. Queen and this is 100% over. Check.
After should be able to win this.
Yeah, I think so. Thank you. To be able to win it.
And now that he has captured the bishop now, the life position pawn capture. This is lost. Wow.
Yeah.
Grinding water from stone.
Yeah, actually, he didn't even grind water from stone. He first created the stone, you know. Then after creating the stone, he now tried to find a way to grind the water from the stone. Because I don't think she had any business losing that game.
Honestly,
Uh,
honestly.
Pawn to c6,
Pawn c6, only
because
move.
you don't want the king
Only
to escape.
only good move. Pawn c6. So as to bring the king to c5.
Okay, let me put on the engine. Let's see if all the nonsense we have been saying since morning has any bearing with reality.
Yes, let's ask the oracle.
Uh,
Let's ask the oracle. I was scared for a
I
second.
saw +1. I was shocked. +1K.
If he +1, if he plays
six
what?
played, but much
Yes, you have to
earlier.
play that.
Kindly stop the engine. It's actually affecting your is affecting
I
your
s-
game resource.
No, so
No, switch it off. It's affecting your stream. That's what I'm saying. Your audio started
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've
dwindling.
switched it off.
Yeah, your audio started
Glitching.
dwindling.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
see, you see, you see, you see. This is where you need to win this national friends of chess, so as to be able to get a gaming laptop. So you won't be having these kind of
Eh,
issues. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
you need to win,
yeah,
but
yeah.
unfortunately, you'll probably be meeting Tolu at one point or the other.
Oh, how
Pe-
can someone like him?
People,
Oh no,
people
I don't
watching the
even know
stream,
people like him.
people watching the stream can donate to Chief Wales and
Yeah,
get
definitely.
a gaming laptop for us so that we
Yeah,
can we
definitely.
can we can
Improve our
stream
stream.
without having to. Yeah, the chess community will be happier if yeah, we have a gaming laptop. All right, all right, all right. So yeah, I don't know what to do here. This is, yeah, it's crazy.
So let us
This is the
leave
live
this.
position. Yeah,
Let's leave these games for now. Let's do one or two reminiscent. Zone 4.2. I'm going to start from Tolu.
yeah.
How was it?
But it was interesting tournament.
Now your voice is low. We came
And
to zone 4.2. Your voice is low. When we're talking about other people's games right now, where everybody could hear you all the way from mile 12 to Abuja to everywhere. Now we're talking about what happened in 4.2.
uh, I
Yeah,
was remi I was reminiscing a lot of occurrence events, interesting events, interesting positions. So 4.2 was an interesting tournament. I hope we can get tournaments of that standard more often. Like maybe once in 2 months, we can play good chess. From the
Hmm.
beginning to the end, it was all crazy games.
Wow. Was there a particular moment that you can never ever forget? So at the event, just one particular like standout day that was like, yeah,
Of
this day.
course. So standout day. Uh, I think the rest day was it went the way a rest day was supposed to go. The
But we did not see you
organizers
dancing now. We
was
didn't see you dancing now. We saw that people's video. We did not see
I was
you.
be- I was behind the camera. I was behind the camera. Oh, cannot play make Jack a dull ball, but I was not trying to play too
Oh,
much. I was
oh,
trying to remember some
oh.
of my preparation for the next game. And my opponent that was dancing too much. It was taking more so it won't get high. But when we got to the board, he could not even see the things I was playing.
Okay, we'll not mention the name of the opponent. We just need to go and look at the games that you played
Oh,
immediately after
oh,
the rest
oh,
day.
that's-
Like we say, your like we say, your own case. How did it go? Your experience.
Yeah, the main classical event was a bit, it was tough. It was like my play was uneven. There were some places where I was finding it difficult to convert like good positions. Although I was happy, like in the final, like after the rest day, I didn't lose any game. I had some terrible positions, terrible positions. For example, the game against Tolu, which I was winning at some point, then I got into a really, really horrible position. But
Winning or
somehow
you
I
had
found a way.
advantage at some point. Please use the right term. You had a better position.
So I had a completely winning position against Tolu, and but somehow I couldn't find a way in time trouble. Yeah, but I think it
It
was
was
interesting.
not time
I
trouble.
like the top.
It was skill issue. Please, because be mindful of your words.
Allow him to finish
Why would you
talking.
say
Then you
time?
can actually you can actually allow
I
him to
was the
land.
one on time pressure. No, no, this is my name.
Oh,
This is my name. I have to
oh
defend
my
myself.
goodness! There, there is nothing to defend. I think he played one. He played two moves that were not really good in the middle game. Queen a4, attacking my a7 pawn, I thought was not so great. And then he played one pawn to c3 move. I thought, this is insane. Like, how can you play pawn to c3? Of course, he should have played bishop f4, sacrificing the pawn.
Yeah, bishop
But
is yeah.
he wanted to prevent my queen check on b4.
Points to
So he
going
played
to
pawn to
b4.
c3. That was just too
It
slow.
was very
Just too slow.
slow. It was too.
Yeah. So
It
I
gave
had
you. That was where you had the turning point.
yeah I had the completely winning position. But anyway, it's not really about the game against. It's not really about the game
Tolu
against Tolu.
actually, yeah.
It was
It's
just
the fact that you
yeah.
were able
It
to
was
get
just
a good game about me. That seems like the highlights of your tournament. Getting a good game
it
against me,
was just
demanded
it was just an uneven game. Like, maybe the only clean game I had was against Adewale Adelakun. Yeah, I think that was the only good clean game I had. Apart from that, it was really uneven. But somehow in the blitz section of this thing, I was able to show some a bit of chess understanding. But apart from that, the classical was up and down. So like that's why I understand, for instance, Abdurrahman's game today, where he had a good position and suddenly just spoiled it. So it's
Hmm.
definitely things like this are possible. You know, when it's just possible. It's just chess. That's just how it is. So well, yeah. But overall, I think it was good. Overall, I think it
Yeah,
was good.
thank you very much for the feedback. And there's also one more thing I need to understand. Personally, on a personal note, I think I've been to City at hotel and luxury once. I've been there once, and
Yeah.
when I got to the hall, it was, the hall was beautiful. Where they were playing, then it was a was it capacity? Yes, it was a capacity tournament. So, for this zone 4.2, because that you went for, can you share
Yeah.
how the ambience and the serenity, the environment was towards the tournament and probably the hospitality and everything you are experienced there regarding the hotel itself?
Yeah. So I think Wright and Iggy, if I'm correct, sponsored. So there was water, there was drinks, so everyone was, you had something to refill while you were playing. The tournament hall itself was very nice. Everything was well set up, even up down to the people doing, the service was great. And there was an upstairs lounge where you could analyze some games with your friends, or you could, talk about some positions. So yeah, everything was good. Arbitration was good. The hotel is fantastic. It should, if you're in Lagos, definitely, and in the Ikeja area, that's the hotel to be. It was great. It was great.
Tolu,
Tolu,
your
yeah,
own
I'll
experience?
leave Tolu to ask.
a good time. The hall was really cold. I'm a bit used to that. And yes, like Ruth Miller said, there was refreshment, good arbitration, and easy access to the hall.
Hmm,
Yeah.
that's
Well,
interesting.
for me, here, I will probably just sign out. I feel like this game is kind of over, and maybe most of the games are over. I have to quickly, my somehow I've not really gotten the perfect setup yet, so my laptop is a bit down, and
Okay.
I feel I've used a little bit of energy, little bit of energy. So yeah, we all consider that Tennyson will probably win this position easily. His king comes
And let's
here
finish
and he
one there.
mops up all these pawns, and he's going to just queen his pawn. So it seems like this should be an easy win for Tennyson if Croatia doesn't resign in the next two moves anyway. Yeah,
Mm.
I believe yeah, that's mostly for me. Is it still possible, or is I'm not sure if it's still. Well, actually, I can still be on the stream, but I'll probably have to put off my camera because I have to change locations.
Yeah, that's not. No, you can even
Is that
if
fine?
you actually want to what is it called?
Camera
Of
is
course
off.
it's okay. Your camera is off, no problem. You can just mute your camera, your microphone, and you're good.
Okay.
Thank you very much,
Yeah,
Mr.
I think
Lakute
I just need.
Oluwadosimi. God bless you. Also, we will soon also be signing off in the next few few minutes because we're also waiting for this game to for Black to sign the result sheets, and it might be possible that White has already, I mean Black has already, they've already signed the result sheet, and we are just here, looking,
Yeah, we don't know. Is there any like a 10-minute delay because of how important the tournament is,
I don't think there is a
or
delay.
is
It's
a live
actually
stream? Is it?
possible. It's actually yes, a live stream. It's actually possible they have done, that is it. Anyways, we just we hear a little bit, but we'll stop. I think we've done the major part of the job. In fact, we can actually call it quits here and let's mention the names of the players and their what's it called again one more time and show the entire Nigerians that these the winners for this specific round. Let us start from but one was WFM Sana Prakash, who played against very own the defending champion of the West African Zonals, FIDE Master Abdurrahman Abdurrahim, and winning the game with the white pieces, which at first there was a little bit change of events, but it went ahead to deliver. And number two goes to the upset of the event, which is our very own Sulaiman Azumi winning WGM Wabashuk in this encounter. This is this is a win to celebrate for Nigeria as a whole. Next is the game between Muhammad Hachim, all the way from Chad, against WIM Nasir Lina of Algeria. Nasir Lina was very brutal on our opponents at the point, and it was a simple 1-0. And now a game between two fellow countrymen, WCM Ayemao, playing against Amako, who is a male. And guess what? WCM Mazana Ayemao defeated Amako in this wonderful game with the White Faces. And the only game holding us down right now is between Odisa Tennyson versus Opowino to Vishimowa. And I can guarantee you, um, the bookies have it that White is supposed to win the game. And but who knows? Something, something, something. Abi,
Some
Mr.
moves. Yeah,
Tolu,
some
some
moves have
things.
been played actually.
Yeah, some moves have been played. You have to see Bishop goes back here, King goes there, and from
Yeah,
push
Bishop
here,
to
of course,
C8,
this
and that
this
we're expecting maybe pawn to A6.
maybe pawn to A6 is possible. Pawn to A6 is possible.
So you need to play that. Why not?
Bishop to
Why
E2 is
not
possible.
just king to
Bishop to
c4?
E2 is possible. Maybe
I don't understand. Why
um,
not pawn to A6 and just push the pawn to the
just push
queen?
the pawn to go and promote because
Oh,
after
that's
pawn A6 now, this bishop just
right.
this king has no choice but to go back here to hold on to this pawn. Now you have the chance to just
And then
come here and
king
start
to
munching
h6.
on this pawn over here. So makes life
Oh,
easier
that's
for everybody.
easy.
So so I think we'll
Yeah.
just have to. I think it is okay to call it quits here, and we should prepare. We won't be able to stream the round two. Apologies on that, but we'll be able to stream the round three. And the news getting to me is that from round three we'll be able to get the video of the players in the hall, and we'll need to be seeing their facial expressions as they are being dealing themselves blows to blows. And no, not it's actually not just boxing. It's actually we're talking of move blows. E4 is a blow, E5 is a blow, the kind of a thing. We start to respond and parry all the stress. And
We
that will be tomorrow. And thank you
well
very much. Okay,
we
you want to say something?
okay. No, I was going to say that I was agreeing with you. I just wanted to add that because this looks like it's going to end in the next like 2-3 minutes, that we could just stick with it till the end so that Tennyson doesn't feel angry with us that we just cut his game short somewhere.
Okay, okay, okay,
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
I mean, because
You have a
because
point.
A6, it seems like there's only one move that can be made here.
Yeah, King H. I mean King B8 is the only one. Only move that can stop
Yeah,
that can stop A7 because if that doesn't happen by right now, I feel
yeah.
Black should just resign. There is nothing like my coach said I should not resign. Not this kind of position. Please. Not this kind of position. I'm not against Tennyson. It's respect your opponent at times.
I would
Or are you also
definitely
a fan of? Are
resign.
you also
Well,
a fan of play till the end sort of a thing where you have a completely losing position and hoping for a miracle
Oh,
against
if you're
against a
talking
tough
about like,
against a very good player?
if you're talking
no, no, no,
about
no.
play here, I'm sure we will take 10 minutes to evaluate the position to confirm if he's losing anything.
Lakota, Lakota, your take?
No, no, no. For like kids that are just like learning chess and maybe up till like a certain rating, I
Yes.
always feel like they should continue to play until the end because I've seen some stalemates from strange things happening for
Yeah,
those
I agree.
players
I
rated low. Yeah,
I
but
agree.
once you get to a certain stage and maybe you know your opponent, I feel like generally you should resign. Although, okay, Torisha has resigned by the way. Although
Yeah.
there was a case where I was mentioning where in the World Rapid and Blitz, Carlsen himself, he was waiting for his opponent to resign, but his opponent didn't resign, and it turns out that it was a good decision by his opponent because he stalemated his opponent. I think this was the last World Blitz Championship. You can check out the game, and I think you can search on YouTube. So, well, generally, maybe there are some positions where you should definitely resign, but okay, what to say? What to say? Yeah, so Tennyson played a great game.
So actually, as a
But
matter of
Bishop
fact,
B7, yeah, Bishop B7 was a very strange move. I thought it was a very strange move.
so you could have done Bishop takes
Very, very
Bishop.
strange move.
So Bishop takes Bishop will have been okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think we're discussing
Okay,
F time
Bishop
because
takes Bishop. Bishop takes Bishop with F5.
No, Bishop takes Bishop
Bishop
first. Wait.
to
After Bishop takes Bishop, what happens? Bishop takes Bishop,
Bishop takes
right?
Bishop.
What will you do now?
F5. F5.
Now you're supposed to play F5,
Since
right?
pawn takes can
Is he F5 immediately or
yes.
King? Wait, is he F5 immediately or King C6?
So King C6 is
I
now
think we were
King
discussing
C6.
F5. Was it not F5 we were
Yeah,
discussing?
we're
It does
discussing
not.
F5.
Was it King
Yeah,
C6?
F5. No, no, not King C6. King C6 doesn't work because of A6. It was not King C6.
Okay, so we're discussing F5.
No, what happens?
Or
No,
were we
no, no, no,
discussing
no, no,
F5
no,
or
no, 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 no,
King
no.
B7?
There's nothing wrong with King. There's nothing wrong with A6. Is there? I'm coming. King C6.
Just makes it
King C6
okay.
A6. There's nothing wrong. Is that? Oh, okay. You can't.
I don't
You
just
can't.
like the idea. The king coming there is not giving us anything. It's S6 is clear.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was something about King B7 we were talking about, and then
We're
F5,
comparing
and then
all this, yes.
we're trying to play, I
No,
think,
don't.
A4 or something
Then
like that.
F4. Yes, F4. Yes, yes. Where you are spreading those two legs. Yeah.
Something along these lines. Okay, but it's fair enough. It's fair enough. It was
It was an interesting.
yeah, aha, but black was losing. B5 was actually not a good move. Not very strange.
Exactly. So but wait, hold on here. What would have been after E5? Then what? Can't I start pushing that can't even white start push I mean black start pushing B5 immediately B4
I think
like
Hmm.
that's
B4
why
immediately?
that's it has to be before immediately.
Can't you play B4 immediately right
Okay,
now?
let me switch on this thing.
Oh,
So B4 is the recommended move. Let me put it on best performance. I hope everybody can still hear me clearly.
yeah, for now. I guess since your
Yes.
camera is not on, I think.
Yeah, maybe, yes.
It's already skipping now. I think his audio is skipping, I guess.
Okay, so I had to check out if like on E7. It's just an equal. Okay, Bishop 1 being recommended. Yeah, I thought Bishop D1 was him, but okay, it's nothing special. It's more like maybe and tennising and very interesting idea of breaking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's causing the imbalance in the position and capitalizing on that to, on his opponent's mistakes to what's it called, take the crucial win from this game.
yeah.
Okay, that'll be all, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much, Mr. Tulu Alimio Kemakinde, one of the very top,
Yes.
strongest junior, I mean, no longer a junior, top rising star in Nigeria chess. Looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, Sunday. Will you guys be available?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we should
Bye.
have some time.
Yeah, we'll look into it. Don't worry.
Okay.
No problem. So just look into it.
Yes.
Thank you very much, guys, for joining. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining the stream. Everybody, over our fans and viewers on YouTube, thank you very much for joining us. And we're going to call it quits today. After the very first ACC Super Zonal Chess Championship. See you guys tomorrow, 9:30 to 10. We continue from round three and round